From the hot air balloon capital of the world, this is the 46th edition of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, presented by Canon. The world's premier ballooning event is happening now in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is Balloon Fiesta live, online, and on the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the main event. And now, let's get ready to fly.
Y'all ready for this? Hello? Y'all ready for this?
And ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome once again to the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, presented by Canon. How about that for an opening ceremony? What do you think? I hate to get political, but somebody here on the towers and take that, NFL. That's the way you do a national anthem. I think I just got fired. So our balloons of the day are up and away. My colleague Art Lloyd Jr., who is our MC down on the stage, will be, oh my goodness, we're on television this morning. My colleague Art Lloyd Jr., who was on stage for the Master of Ceremonies for our opening ceremonies, is on his way back up here to the tower now. And as you can see, if you're watching us on Balloon Fiesta Live, and we hope that you are, we're streaming live on BalloonFiesta.com for the first time in my 28 years here, and the first time in the 46 years of Balloon Fiesta. We've got a beautiful view of the field, the balloons out on the tower, or out on the field rather, from the tower here. You can even see our officials, our Balloon Meister and safety officials over on their little tower, as they are overlooking things. Normally what would be happening is we would be launching a whole bunch of balloons immediately after the presentation of the colors and the launch of the flag. But this morning, because of that special salute with the all burn of the burners, the pilots now have to lay their burners over, lay the baskets over, hook up the balloons, and get them reinflated and then ready to launch. And so we're going to be a few moments this morning getting the mass of balloons underway in the mass ascension. We've got a few balloons already getting in the sky, though. Between the Dawn Patrol show and our opening ceremonies, you enjoyed, we hope, the Krispy Kreme balloon globe with a select number of balloons inflated and glowing on the field. And the Krispy Kreme balloon is just launched and is passing off to our right as we see them here from the tower. The City of Plano balloon, I think Billy Broker is the pilot in that balloon. It is airborne. It is a white balloon with a black, red, blue, and white spiral around it. Our Rainbow Rider balloons. Rainbow Riders, of course, are the official ride concessionaire. They are the people with whom, if you are a spectator, if you're a member of the public, and you'd like to see Balloon Fiesta from the sky, from a balloon, you can purchase a ride through Rainbow Riders and get on board one of their aircraft. And those are there's a whole row of basically yellow balloons out there. Most of the Rainbow Rider balloons are yellows with rainbows around them. They have a number of contract balloons that also come in from all parts of the country to fly passengers during Balloon Fiesta. And they typically are some of the first balloons off, as are the balloons that were in the Krispy Kreme glow. Since they were already inflated and standing up, they're ready to launch, and they're getting airborne, as you can see now. One of them passing off to my immediate left is Lance Perry in a balloon that has some beautiful turquoise windows in the side of the balloon. Lance is here out of Plano, Texas, and we saw Bill Roker also getting airborne in the City of Plano balloon. Plano, Texas hosts its own very fine hot air balloon race that takes place the third weekend of September each year. We were just there, as a matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago. So, again, it's going to take a few moments. We're just beginning to see now the massive part of the field beginning to cold inflate their balloons. Some of the balloons will be recognizing for you as they are inflated along row A here in front of Corporate Village. And again, the Rainbow Rider balloons that are inflated all the way down the field. That large row of mostly yellow-topped balloons that you can see are our ride concessionaire balloons. And if you're interested in getting a ride during Balloon Fiesta, you need to check with the folks at Rainbow Riders. You can check on their website, of course, and they have a booth here on the field, a tent on the field, where you can actually check in and see what flight opportunities they have available throughout the week. And so you can purchase a ride and book it, and then get to see Balloon Fiesta from the pilot's perspective, see what it's like to be a participant here in the 46th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. We'll say good morning and welcome to folks that hopefully are watching the live stream, Balloon Fiesta Live, we're calling it this year. We're live online and on the air, and it's a first time that we've done this in the 46-year history of the event, so be kind. We're kind of feeling our way around this morning with different cameras and a production team that we've never all worked together before, so we're kind of getting our pilot's legs underneath us, I guess, if you will, figuring out all of the communications and how everything is working. So showing you some great shots. We have not only manned cameras on the field, we're going to have a roving reporter out on the field as well. My colleague Larry Aarons will be our roving reporter out on the launch field, bringing us live reports from out in the midst of the crowd and the spectators and the balloons and the pilots and the crew and the launch directors and all of the mass that is Balloon Fiesta. down on the launch field a little bit later in the program this morning. And so it's going to be a beautiful morning. We have a typical Chamber of Commerce weather, as you can see. The sun is not yet up over the Sandias. It usually takes a while for it to peek up over the top of the Sandias, but it won't be long. And you'll see a whole different view of the field once the sun comes up. The sun begins to strike these balloons, and it really makes the colors begin to pop. Right now, things are a little bit kind of dullish looking because we're still sort of almost in pre-dawn. Even though the sun is up, it's hidden from us by the mountains to the east. But already you can see our cameras showing you a few of the balloons that are in the air, and you can see out on the launch field the first of the rows of the mass ascension balloons getting inflated right along Corporate Row here. And once the balloons begin to stand up, we'll start to be able to identify some of them for you, tell you a little something about them. For example, just here in front of us is the Intel balloon, which is a white balloon with building blocks of red, yellows, and blues on it. They will be among the first of the balloons probably to launch off of Corporate Row here to our immediately in front of us.
Crew 1.
So it's going to take a few moments for us to get everything started. I would advise some of you that, if you're on the field and you've got your phones with you, and who doesn't nowadays, you can, of course, log on to balloonfiesta.com and not only enjoy the sights and sounds live and in person on the field, but you can catch our live streaming as well. And the Intel balloon now coming up right just directly in front of us. And my colleague Art Lloyd Jr. has just arrived back from the main stage, making his way back with us. I may need to slide over here a bit. I think I keep moving further and further to camera right there, Art. I'll give you a little room. So that was a pretty awesome opening ceremonies.
That was pretty cool. That was being down there on the stage and seeing all that. That was excellent.
I got to tell you, the shot that we had from up here, the view we had when they did the Allburn, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I mean, I've seen this. I've done this for 28 years. There's not a lot here that really takes my breath away anymore because I've kind of seen it and done it. But that was awesome. That was a great display. And made for a wonderful anthem. What a great choir we had down doing the anthem this morning as well.
The Mexico Peace Choir. Got to get my earpiece back in. We're working down there so I can hear what we're talking about.
Yeah, I keep having I've got so many wires attached to me this year. I'm not sure that
Well, it's one of those deals. Of course, I think you may have mentioned it. We're talking about, and we're doing a live video broadcast, basically a live stream on balloonfiesta.com.
Yep.
So that folks, if you're on the field here and can get yourself a nice cell signal to watch it, you'll be able to do that as well. And of course, for the folks at home, and even if you're here and you're hearing us, when you go home, the broadcast is supposed to be archived, so it should be up there shortly after the broadcast.
Oh, my goodness.
So folks will be able to go back and relive the opening ceremonies here and everything else with Balloon Fiesta.
And I was fine with my IFB until you showed up, and now mine's falling out too. I can't keep either one of them in my ear at the moment. Even with the gaffer's tape, it keeps popping out. But that's probably because I've got too many. I'm sitting on about half a dozen wires here, I think. Yeah. See, there we are.
There we go.
We're both fiddling with our ears.
We got to flip the graphics there.
Yeah, because we're backwards. He's Art, I'm Glenn.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, the other way around.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Here goes and there goes my IFB. There's the Intel balloon launching now. I'm going to keep fiddling with my ear, and it's not because it itches. It's because they're trying to get this IFB back in there. There we go.
I see Barney Watson and Cool Beans over there on the far west side of the field. Multicolor one, just kind of standing up on the side there. This is going to kind of be, it's the one coming up underneath the Intel, if you see the picture screen there.
Well, and one of the things that you can see if you're looking at the feed is that Coca-Cola bottle here. And we should mention that Coca-Cola is the official soft drink of Balloon Fiesta this year. We're glad to welcome them to the event.
And right here in front of us, the red and white one here, as soon as he stands up a little bit farther, you'll see that that's Dr. Pepper.
That is.
Part of the Coca-Cola line here, so.
Okay, I was doing so well with this IFB until
Bob Ambrew from Gonzales, Louisiana. Ambo down by you there. He's got the Dr. Pepper balloon for us. Hey, you know, NBC Nightly News is here this morning. They'll be taking a ride this morning, and I believe their show will be on NBC Nightly News tomorrow night, Sunday night. So that's when they're. Gotti Schwartz came through here, was a local reporter through with the Albuquerque NBC affiliate here. He's now the West Coast reporter for NBC.
Outstanding.
And they sent him back to cover it for us. So
well,
we're glad to have them here.
Well, at least they sent somebody back who knows what it's all about.
There you go.
You know, and that's certainly important. So yeah, Robert Ambo has the Dr. Pepper balloon standing up here again, welcoming Coca-Cola as our official soft drink this year. And somewhere here in the field, I know Glo Kehoe is here with a brand new Coca-Cola balloon. So I look forward to seeing that this morning.
You betcha. I believe they're bringing a shape Coca-Cola bottle too. Don't know that for sure.
Okay.
But that's the rumor.
Something to look forward to then.
You betcha.
And of course, speaking of shapes, our special shapes rodeos and glodios come up later in the week. That'll be on Thursday and Friday as we move. We're jumping way ahead of the calendar talking about that now, but that's something to look forward to as well.
But we'll see a few of them inflate here this morning as well, I believe. So I see taking off from the back, kind of the middle of the field there. I tapped on there. I thought I had it. That's Sean Rea from Oxford, Michigan, the kind of the racer shape. It's by Sol Air there. Got a nice shot of that on our feed there. They're kind of along that row where all of the ride balloons are. I heard you talking about Rainbow Riders as I was coming back down here.
Yeah, they're down along row P, I believe, this year. They're kind of moving a new location for them. In fact, they sort of displaced Dawn Patrol. We moved Dawn Patrol show up a few rows to row M, and so now Rainbow Riders, I think, they basically have control of row P, as in Paul, and so that's where they all launch from.
Which gives them the road there as well. So not only do they have their square, but they also get the part of the road there. Give a little extra room. Those balloons much bigger than the rest of the balloons that are out here as well.
Why won't that work?
Because you already have all of them.
What do you mean I already have all of them?
So go to
the list? Aha. Thank you. Technology is a wonderful thing, only if you know how to use it.
So you were mentioning the special shapes there, kind of off to the left of the Dr. Pepper and the Garrity Group balloon that's standing up there, the black one with the kind of chain links on it. Just kind of see it off the left of our screen there. There's the one of the Jester balloons. That would be Lady Jester. Bob Lupton from Albuquerque flying the Lady Jester balloon for us.
That's a character from Mardi Gras for those of us that are down from the state of Louisiana or have been to Nolans for Mardi Gras at any time. We're used to seeing Lady Jesters and the people that wear the mask, and it's quite a lot of fun. You mentioned the Garrity Group, and I want to say hello this morning to Tom Garrity and his staff. They are our public relations firm, our media firm. They run media relations for us. And Tom, if you guys are listening, I didn't remember to check and see if I even registered as media this year. I may have a credential over there. I'm not sure. But we don't need no stinking badges. So I got enough badges hanging on my neck now. I'm walking over stooped anyway. But, yeah, Tom Garrity and his group do a great job. They're running our Twitter feed, by the way, at Balloon Fiesta. And you can use, on Twitter and on Facebook, use the hashtag Balloon Fiesta. And we actually have the ability to call that up on our feed and watch and see what people are saying about Balloon Fiesta.
We will. We'll throw that up throughout the morning here. Yep, we'll be able to see that as well. We'll throw that up occasionally. And if you're out here on the field, that's the other place we'll be able to see that as well. We've got a number of cameras out here. We've talked about this being the first year for the video feed. Well, we're on our, this is the view that we have that we're looking at here now, but just a few moments ago, we saw some shots from up close by the balloons because we have a camera on the field.
Well, and you couldn't see it, but we had a great shot of the stage as the colors were being presented and the choir was singing the anthem. Beautiful shot of that. And, yeah, we've
We're
always
actually doing 6 cameras. We had a 6-camera shoot going on here.
There's a different shot. We've always said that we have the greatest, the best show, the best seat in the house. It's first year, tongue-tied. But we've always said we have
first morning. Anyway.
This is the first morning, and it's an early morning. It was an 3:30 wake-up call. But we've always said that we have the best seat in the house, and now people that are watching the stream can see that because we do. And this is the shot that we're seeing. Well, it was there for a moment as Robert Embo goes aloft. There he is in the Dr. Pepper balloon. Robert again from Gonzales, Louisiana, southern part of Louisiana. I see Sherry Edwards-White has the Touchstone Energy balloon inflated. I'm not sure if Sherry's flying this morning or not because she is flying in the America Challenge gas balloon, which we'll be talking about a little bit later because they launched tonight. And last I saw, everything looks good for a launch this evening. Phil Bryant, one of the pilots, had posted on social media this morning that the weather outlook initially was good for a launch tonight. And Sherry Edwards-White will be flying with Mark Sullivan as one of the gas balloon teams. So I'm not sure if that's, I'm not sure who's flying her balloon this morning. That is her balloon.
We mentioned the NBC affiliate before. There goes their a sponsor on one of the Rainbow Rider balloons.
Okay.
That would be KOB-TV. Fine folks there. Jim Ahern taking off the Garrity Group.
Yep, he's the black balloon with the pink and purple kind of interlocking chains around the center. You can see the Garrity Group's logo on the side. And again, the Garrity Group is our public relations and media firm. Tom Garrity and Christelle and his staff doing a great job. The Honda balloon is right up here in front of us. It's a yellow balloon with looks like a rainbow spill, paint spill on top.
I was going to say a spill of paint.
Yeah,
there.
or a peacock that's upside down, or whatever. Ken Walters from the great state of Wisconsin, has his balloon standing up as well. He's on the front row here. It's got a jagged white band around the center and then kind of rainbow colors on the bottom, reds, orange, yellows, greens, and blues. Ken is a past director of the Balloon Federation of America and is a commercial balloon pilot from up in the great state of Wisconsin. I asked him to bring some cheese curds with him, but I'm not sure if he did or not. There's a great view of one of the Rainbow Rider balloons. And ladies and gentlemen, you can see the difference in sizes. We'll be talking about this throughout the day. Look at the basket underneath that balloon. It is obviously quite a large basket with a lot of people on board. These are the big ride balloons that are specifically designed for doing scenic tour rides in balloons, unlike many of the other balloons that you'll see here that are more of a sport balloon that are generally for a pilot and maybe 2 to 3 passengers. The ride balloons can carry, some of them, 8, 10, 12, 16 people.
So we talked about all the different cameras that we have out there. We have one down on.
We've lost the IFB again, but
I lost my mic, actually.
Oh,
I lost
that it?
the switch.
Okay.
Yep.
Don't lose that. You kind of need that.
No, I need that. So we have our cameras down there on the field as well. Larry Aarons is down there with our camera down there.
That's right.
Larry's found something for us to talk about.
Oh,
Go,
there he
Larry.
is.
There he is.
Hey, good to see you guys. Look at us. We're on the field and happy to be here. We're standing next to the Coca-Cola Balloon, one of the sponsors here at this year's Balloon Fiesta. And as you can see, they have it laid out here, and they're going to fire it up here pretty soon. We had a hot inflate here just a moment ago with another balloon. Great crowd out here today. Let's go over here and talk to this ballooning legend, Dr. Tom Connell. Hey, Tom. Hey, we're on Balloon Fiesta Live. Wow, how about that?
You're kidding.
You're with the Zia Balloon.
Zia Balloon,
How long you been in ballooning?
46 years.
You're one of the pioneers, aren't you?
I'm an antique.
We all get that way, yeah?
That's right.
You look great.
Thank you very much.
Are you flying the balloon today, or?
I'm not flying. I'm 82, and I flew when I was 80. You know, that macho thing
Yeah.
that you have?
Yeah.
So you could tell people and so when I turned 81, I said, okay, my son, you're the boss of the balloon now.
Well,
I'll try to stay away from the...
you're a legend around here. Great to
very
talk
much.
to you. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we've got a lot more to show you down here on the field, but we're going to send it back to you guys up in the secret announce booth. Back to you.
Thanks, Larry.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Larry.
Tom. You know,
I was gonna say, I don't know that this is so secret anymore.
Well, I was posting on Facebook, etc., that this is the year the secret announce tower goes public.
Goes public. Yeah, we've always called it our super secret announce tower because no one knew where it was. They couldn't find us, and we stayed pretty well hidden.
Yeah.
And but this year, I think people are going to kind of, even all the officials have already found us. They're all looking.
They're
at
all
us.
looking over here and waving at us.
Yeah.
Good morning, guys. There they are. Hey, we were just talking with Tom McConnell, the Zia Balloon. There's a whole feature article about the whole Zia Balloon. That whole program is in the whole ballooning deal with Zia is in the official Balloon Fiesta program this year. So there's a nice article in there.
And you can buy those out on the field. Typically, we have people all around the main street where the concession is, and in various other spots of the field. They'll be hawking those the very fine programs. It's still an early morning. I'm just getting started. Yeah, and they're usually, I think they're about $5. They're not expensive, and it's a great collector thing to hang on to. In fact, I've got to get a copy because I have a collection of Balloon Fiesta programs going back to, well, when I started here 28 years ago. So, yeah, looking forward to picking that up. It has pictures of all the balloons in it. It has all kinds of great feature articles, as you said, on the Zia Balloon team. Our names even got in there this year. I was impressed with that.
They've been there for a few years, but they're pretty prominently featured this year.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah,
I noticed it said official announcers, which means that somewhere there are some unofficial guys running around.
Yeah, somewhere along the line there.
Hey, the Wonder, See the Wonder, Spot the Wonder is up. The Wonder Bread balloon, that is my good friends Chris and Amanda Sabia, who are flying that balloon. The Touchstone Energy balloon, also airborne now, over in the right-hand corner of the field, the right-hand corner for us as we view the field from the north end here. Some of the one of the world balloons is also getting airborne. That, of course, the outfit that our founding father, Sid Cutter, started years and years and years ago.
The yellow one with the pennants just kind of going out of the view of our picture here, coming over the announce tower and over the officials. That's Double Yellow from Rockford, Michigan. Chuck Polonowski flying that for us.
See, I would have named it Mellow Yellow, but, that's just me.
That may have been a previous version.
It could have been. And also following him out in the balloon that has the broad bands of red, yellow, green, and blue from bottom to top, that's a friend of mine named Bill Adler. Bill is here out of Longview, Texas. He and his wife Jean, great friends of ours, and Bill is not only a balloonist but also fixed-wing pilot.
Coming out from the middle of the field, off there on the far east side, another one of the Rainbow Riders balloons. This one's got the Arizona state flag on it.
Yep.
So Bob Romanowski from Peoria is flying that one for us. Bob's been here a long time, 32nd year for Bob.
Speaking of flags, if you're looking for the super secret announce tower, or what used to be, all you have to do is find on the field, look around, and if you see the New Mexico state flag and the Scottish saltire hanging together, you'll know where we're at. We're working behind the flags of your home state and my adopted country. So
there you go.
We've got the New Mexico Zia and the Scottish saltire hanging from the announce tower this year. Along with a big banner that says "Welcome Sponsors." That's the real giveaway.
That's it. So you mentioned Touchstone going off from the southeast corner of the field. Next to that, the yellow one with the vertical stripes and the kind of gray diamonds in there. That's Gary Miklicek from Lafayette, California, flying. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name of that balloon.
Well, and right next to him is my friend Ken Walter, as I was saying earlier, who's here from the great state of Wisconsin.
Oh, there's a big cheer. Someone's gotten in the air over there.
And
always nice to hear that when you take off and the crowd and the crew gives you a nice round of applause for getting in the air. Of course, they've done most of the work or a lot of the work, but it's just a great fun time.
Well, you have to wonder if they're cheering because you finally got it right.
Sometimes I think you might be right.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, there goes the Wonder Balloon you mentioned.
Yep, Chris and Amanda Sabia, Spot the Wonder. Now, last year they had a photo contest going, and if you take a photo of the balloon, anytime you spot the wonder, take pictures of it, post it on social media, use the hashtag Spot the Wonder, and they have some kind of a media group that goes through and finds all that stuff on social media, and then they pick a winner, and the winner gets some really nice prizes. I mean, it's a nice photo contest. So
you entered that a lot last year.
I entered it a lot last year, and I didn't win, and I might have to try again this year. My friend, one of my crew guys, Joey Scarpinato, won it the first year they started the
that's
contest.
right, that's right.
And so, yeah, it's a nice contest. So spot the wonder if you can, and grab a picture of the Wonder Bread balloon and say hello to Chris and Amanda.
They're waving at us from the balloon right now.
Absolutely. We've got a couple of special shapes. We'll see some of them this morning. The Shapes Rodeo, as we said earlier, doesn't come up till Thursday. Well, actually, Wednesday morning, I guess, is. Don't we do a mass ascension of the
Shapes? No, we have the Flight of the Nation. Flight of the Nations on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And like we did last year with the special shapes on Thursday and Friday, we're going to inflate them over on the east side of the field, let them stay inflated so the competitor flyers can continue to come in. So it's kind of the best of both worlds there on Thursday and Friday.
So, but Thursday and Friday, we do have the shapes inflating principally by themselves here on the field. But we'll see a few of them throughout the mornings this weekend and onward through the week, obviously. One of them I can see is one of our zebra balloons, and we should probably mention right off the bat, for spectators that are here for the first time, you may see folks down along on the launch field that are dressed in black and white, what look like referee costumes. They're not actually referees. They are launch directors, or we fondly call them zebras, or as I've explained before, zebras is the way it's pronounced usually around the rest of the world. And they are in charge of getting all these balloons in the air safely. And they do a wonderful job. They're out there in their black and white striped uniforms and are in charge of getting the balloons launched. And so if they ask you to step aside or move back, clear a path, whatever it might be, please cooperate with them, because it's up to them to get all these balloons launched nice and safely. And our zebras do a great job. And many of them are local balloonists who absolutely give up the opportunity to fly in Balloon Fiesta and volunteer to work as launch directors. So a great dedicated group of folks they are. And we
you know, when
them.
when you break into that group there, you're in training for about 3 years.
That's right, you're a zit.
That's where I was going. A zebra in training makes you a zit.
That's
so
right.
I understand Larry Aarons has found something else. I mean, you can't not find something else down there on the field there. But Larry Aarons is down there. Larry, what do you got?
Hey, we're down here by Dr. Steve Comodina's balloon, and one of the balloons, of course, that he flies is the famous Stork balloon. But today, the crew is going to be launching the Fallen Officer balloon, which they're about to take out of the truck and lay out here on the field. And this is a salute to all the fallen first responders. And there's several first responder officers standing by here. So there should be quite a moment when this balloon inflates and takes off here at the Fiesta. So we're going to delve a little farther down the field, and there's lots to see and do. We'll be back to you shortly. Let's send it back to Art and Glenn.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you, Larry.
Coming overhead, one of those, we've been talking about special shapes a lot, it seems like. Here goes Koshari. That's the black and white one with a little red at the bottom there. That's Peter Procopio from Gallup, New Mexico. They have a very, very nice rally the first weekend in December in Red Rocks, which is basically in Gallup, New Mexico. And then there's kind of this unofficial rally that takes place the Monday after this. A number of pilots from California started this, kind of stopping on their way home to fly there. Now it's become one of the larger balloon rallies in the world as well.
Yeah, in fact, the last time that I had my balloon out here, I retired from flying a few years ago now, but the last time that I brought my balloon out to Albuquerque, we did that after the last Sunday morning balloon flight. After we said goodbye here on the tower, we loaded up the balloon truck and headed off to Gallup and flew the next morning in Red Rocks in the canyon, and what a beautiful flight it was. I have some great photos of it, great memories. Red Rocks Canyon is like a finger canyon.
Yes.
And you can fly up and over and in between the gaps in the fingers and the rock formations. It's a wonderful place to fly. And you're right, that's become a sort of an unofficial balloon rally. There's no sponsors, no organization. Everybody just shows up and flies together, and it's great fun. There goes the Lady Jester you were talking about earlier. Our Mardi Gras themed balloon in the Mardi Gras colors of green, gold, and purple. You can just see the Lady Jester's face and the little bells, the tri hat with the bells on the end. Our World Balloon
Ultra
team
World,
also
I was going to say, coming over here.
aboard.
Yep. So the idea here, if you've not seen this before, not been here before, or maybe have just forgotten, the idea here is that we're doing two waves here. We're kind of doing two half waves, if you will. We start from the south end of the field, and from about the middle, we're working our way towards the north, so we're about row 3 or so going through here. Once we clear this out, we'll do it all again right behind it, so a second wave of all of this happening.
It's hard to imagine that as large as this field is, we can't inflate everyone at the same time and get them in the air. We literally, and I can remember back in previous years where we launched in like 4 waves. We started here on the south and went all the way to the north, started at the south, went all the way to the north, started at the south, went all the way, and we did that over and over and over. Now, because this field is so large, we are able to launch balloons out of both ends of the field, both the south and the north, at the same time, so we get the balloons in the air quicker and more efficiently than we used to, but it still is done in waves. It still takes 2 complete waves to get all the balloons in the sky. And there is, speaking in the sky, is one of our zebra balloons.
Mr. Z.
Mr. Z, that one is, you're right. That is the special shape, the zebra balloon. And then my friend Dane Carlton is here from up in Illinois, and he has the balloon called Kazoo. That is a pink balloon that has zebras on it as well.
I think he's a little farther out on the north end of the field there, so we'll
That's
see him a
typically
little.
where he is. Yeah,
we'll see him a little later this morning. I see U.S. Bank out there. Scott McClinton from Kentucky. Remax is off to the side over there. And Hot Stuff right next to U.S. Bank there, kind of one of those little racer balloons. Got a nice little chili on that balloon. I've had a chance to fly in that balloon.
Well, and speaking of Remax, I want to make sure we point out Remax has just rebranded themselves. Now, you'd look at that and you'd go,
yes.
Huh? Well, because it's the same old red, white, and blue balloon, and it says Remax. But if you'll notice what they've done, they did some surveys, some, what do you call those? When Focus groups, thank you. Yeah, they did some focus groups with a bunch of millennials, of course, and the millennials thought that the slash red was too close to the E. It looked like an F, and it didn't really say Remax to them. And so Remax has rebranded itself. Steve Lombardi flying their balloon here this weekend. And so now they just kind of spread everything out a little bit. Now there's more space between the E and the red slash and the M of the max. So you can more clearly read that it says Remax.
You know what I think? I think the other Remax balloon is right there. There's a balloon kind of moving out of the way.
Side by side, yeah.
And so you can see that because the balloon on the left has the
old
logo.
That's right.
The one on the right has the new logo there.
Yep, there's the old, there's the new. And so you can see, and now that, I never noticed it before because I always knew it was Remax, but now that Steve explained to me what they did last week when we were together in Plano, and as you look at the two old and new side by side, you can clearly see that where the slash is close to the E, it does look like RF Max. And I never noticed that in all these years.
I don't think I did either.
Leave it to a bunch of millennials to come up with understanding that. Right next to the two Remax balloons, both the new and the old, is Rich Lawhorn. And Rich is flying Humpty-Dumpty, one of our special shapes. And you know the nursery rhyme, Humpty-Dumpty sat on his wall, Humpty-Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men could not put Humpty together again. But we have, and we've got him here in hot air, and Rich Lawhorn will be taking him flying in just a few minutes. Scott McClinton away in the U.S. Bank balloon. You talked about him a moment ago, the red, white, blue U.S. Bank balloon.
We seem to have a whole group of racer balloons kind of right there behind Scott.
We do.
These are the ones that are more cylindrical. They're not quite as bulbous, if you will, at the top there.
I like to say they're kind of an egg shape.
That's a great description there. And the idea behind these is a lot of the guys that fly competition, we've mentioned it, but we haven't talked about competition yet. Guys that tend to fly these more racer balloons, they're a little more aerodynamic. They can go up a little faster, come down a little faster, without having the balloon attempt to cave in on itself. So a little bit more maneuverable, especially in the up and down, because that's how we maneuver balloons, up and down.
Exactly, yeah. Although, I got to say that those were initially designed as competitive balloons, and we called them racers, but they're becoming more and more and more popular as just a stock sport balloon. They're lighter weight. They're more responsive to fly. They're a lot more fun. And a lot of guys now, a lot of men and women are flying them not so much as competition balloons, but simply as a nice sport balloon because they're more fun to fly. I want to point out real quickly, you know me and my passion for Scotland. Well, the Hendrix Gin balloon is airborne. Hendrix Gin is a wonderful product of Scotland, and they are one of our ride balloons. And we talked about the flag balloon earlier, was the Arizona state flag. Well, there's the Colorado state flag in the form of a hot air balloon just getting airborne on the western side of the field.
Hendrix being one of our, as you mentioned, one of our ride balloons. I see one of the other radio station ones. Rainbow Riders, Scotty Appleman, has his own ride business all year here in Albuquerque and the Phoenix Scottsdale area during the summer up in Colorado Springs. It's kind of becoming a not so well-kept secret that he's opening a new location, but he brings in a lot of commercial ride operators from around the country. That's why we see like KISS 95 up there, for those types of things, or even Sundance balloons above us here, all still flying for the Rainbow Riders concession Scotty Appleman to be able to do
Yeah,
that.
there's such a demand for people who want to fly during Balloon Fiesta that despite the fact that Scotty operates a fleet of hot air balloons, he simply doesn't have enough space in the balloons to get everyone in the sky, and so he does bring in some contract pilots from all around the country that are also commercial balloon ride pilots, so they're well experienced at what they do, and they come in and work with Scotty in order to operate our official ride concession for Balloon Fiesta. There goes our chili pepper balloon. I've always liked that balloon that has the hot chili peppers around the sides.
Called Hot
colors.
Stuff.
Hot Stuff.
Hot
Yep.
Stuff.
Yep.
Nita Courtney is basically the owner of that. Being flown, though, today, probably by Phil Thompson. So Nita might be in the balloon there with him. Nita, a longtime balloonist. Actually got a chance to go fly that, about a year or so ago. Got to take some rides up there. And
good for you.
Flies nicely.
I've never had the chance to fly a racer. I've flown a couple of special shapes in my day, but never had a chance to fly a racer. Nita Courtney Bueno, by the way, is also involved with the Balloon Federation of America. She was at our general board meeting on Thursday at the museum, and she's going to be running the Junior Balloonist summer camp here in Albuquerque coming up in the summer. It's an opportunity for young people to spend a week concentrating on hot air ballooning, learning all about the sport, and you'll be hearing more about that through the Balloon Federation of America.
Great.
You can check that out at bfa.net, and Nita will be taking charge of the camp for us this year, so we're excited about that. Rich Lawhorn is getting airborne now in Humpty-Dumpty. We talked about him a few minutes ago, and he's just getting into the sky this morning.
One of our special shapes is up there. It's got its back to us.
I was trying to figure out what it is. I can't quite tell just yet.
I believe, just my guess from the back, is one of the new ones to us here. Must be the Queen's Guard.
Okay.
Is what I think that is.
Yeah.
On our camera there is the back side of Humpty-Dumpty, Rich, and the Remax balloon's taking off. So if you didn't see those before, there's see how they're using the turning vents to turn those?
And now you can see
the two
difference
logos.
in the logos. The new one being the one on the far right, and the older logo, the one on the left. And you can definitely see there is a difference there. And yeah, it does look like RF Max. I never noticed that because I just always knew it was Remax. So well done to the Millennial Focus Group who, I guess, helped figure that all out. I think you're right.
That is the Queen's Guard. Now that he's overhead of us. So if you're still looking for us, find the Queen's Guard in the sky, look straight down. Paul Burrows bringing that to us from the United Kingdom.
Yep, and I was just over at a wonderful balloon event in the United Kingdom at Longleat, and so I should have recognized that right away, although that balloon wasn't there, but just had a brilliant time. Spent 3 weeks in the United Kingdom, 2 weeks in Scotland, and a week down in England, where I was fortunate enough to be the commentator for the Longleat Sky Safari. And I think some of the
You're going to invite me to come help you with that next year, right?
Yeah, right. Don't lose any sleep while you're waiting on that invitation. But we'll see some of their balloons here. They have Cymbaloo, their logo balloon, their lion balloon is here. The penguins are here, which also are from England. So, yeah, we got a variety of the balloons. But the Longleat balloon, Cymbaloo, the lion, is here, and we'll point that out to you when we see it. There goes some more of our shaped balloons we're beginning to see. There's the chicken.
Lottie-dottie chicken.
Lottie-dottie chicken. I love
and
that.
And the 2.0 here qualifies as a special shape because the 2.0 is, I know, but that's what happens there. So, if you do any little appendage on there, you can qualify as a shape there.
Yeah, I don't buy that, but okay.
I'm just telling you how it works.
I know. We don't make the decisions. We don't make the rules. We should, but we don't.
We don't. Nobody, yeah.
But yeah, you're talking about the 2.0 balloon, and the balloon is actually two actors' faces is the name of it, I guess. I'm not sure about that. Frank Wechter is, that's Frank. Hello, Frank. Frank Wechter is the pilot.
So now that the sun has popped over the mountain here, official sunrise was 7:06, but it still has to kind of get over the top of the mountain there. Now that it has, look at what has happened to the colors of the balloons.
As you were making your way back up from the stage, I was telling people, watch when the sun comes up, the difference it makes in the colors of these balloons, because once the sun begins to hit the the balloons, they really begin to pop. The colors really light up, and you can begin to see that now on the field. La-di-da Chicken is passing almost directly overhead of us now, and as one of our special shapes. Most of the shapes actually are down in the northeast corner of the field. That's generally where their launch area is if you're looking for them, and that's where they start to come up. In fact, another one of them, I think isn't that the black sheep that's
yes, I see it up there. Yep.
popping up just now?
I was trying to catch some of these others coming over us. Green one over there on the far east side. Baby Bear Jeff Bennett from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And there goes the Amarin Risk, a Native American kind of insurance risk company here. This nice blue one coming off. Well, there's a shot. You're talking about the northeast on our feed here. We've got Master Yoda down there, and the black one would be Darth Vader. Not quite standing up there as Darth Vader.
Fly balloons, I will.
There you go.
Yeah, and that is the black sheep that's in the sky. That is pilot George Airy, and with additional pilot Kiko Nakarato. They are here from Sao Paulo, Brazil, with the black sheep. There goes the Plains Capital Bank, the balloon that likes to say, "We fly in the buff." They have the two buffalo or bison, or if you remember the movie Dances with Wolves, the two Tatankas on the side of the balloon. That is Barry Ballinger is the pilot there.
So our launch directors have picked up the pace here and getting balloons up in the sky this morning. They're coming out as fast and furious now.
They are indeed, once the sun has come up. This is just above us here in front of the black sheep is Steve Jones in his racing balloon, the bright gold and yellow on top and the orange and reds to the bottom and a checkered pattern there. Steve is out of Belton, Texas. Long-time competitive pilot, has represented the United States in world competition.
Off on the east side of the field, getting airborne, red, white, blue, the Civil Air Patrol balloon.
Yes.
We now have a balloon contingent of the Civil Air Patrol here in New Mexico. Jessica Bacon is flying that out of Rancho for us. I was talking to some folks in Tulsa. They're attempting to get one started over there as well.
Oh, that would be great.
So Civil Air Patrol kind of adding to their aeronautical pieces by helping kids get involved in ballooning. Goes right along with the BFA youth program.
Absolutely. The Flying Hartzels are standing side by side. That's Father Joe and then sons Luke and Rhett. Rhett Hartzell is the reigning world champion, by the way, and until just recently was also the reigning U.S. national champion. It's unusual that a pilot carries or holds both the title of U.S. national and world champion at the same time. Rhett achieved that last year. Unfortunately, a former world champion, two-time world champion, Johnny Petrin, that we'll see here this week, flying both, I think, Cannon and Bimbo. I'm not sure which he's doing most duty in.
Johnny, I believe, is flying Cannon. Bill Baker's going to fly Bimbo.
Okay, Bill Baker's flying Bimbo.
And we just saw a shot on our monitor there of the Creamland cow being inflated. So we talked about, we're going to see a number more of those special shapes coming up.
So I was saying Johnny Petrin just took the national title away from Rhett. Johnny is the reigning U.S. national champion now and flying for Cannon Balloons.
Yep.
Cannon, of course, our sponsor.
He flew the flag out this morning.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he was flying Cannon out this morning.
I was so in awe of the Allburn that I wasn't paying attention to who the balloons of the day were this morning.
Oh, there you go. So, speaking of balloon of the day, the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta balloon was flown off by New Mexico Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Judy Nakamura.
Oh, yes.
She took Governor Suzanne Martinez and the first gentleman up with her this morning as well.
Just passing overhead of us is my good friend Ken Drawn. Ken is out of the great state of North Carolina. I saw Sam Parks waving to his buddy.
And he's waving to us now, too.
Waving to us, too, yeah.
Good morning, Sam.
So we've got North Carolina well represented, both on the tower as Balloon Meister and in the air with Mr. Ken Drawn.
Another one of those special shapes that we have new one for us here, preventive pest control. And you see that's the nice green balloon over here going off on the southeast corner of the field. There goes spiders on the side, black widow spiders, if to be put together there. So Al Lowenstein from Albuquerque flying that one for us. Al also teaches a number of people to fly here in town.
I know a few friends that don't like spiders, so that would cause nightmares for a few folks. Also at the far end of the field in that blue and yellow balloon with red and yellow checks around the bottom and top is Bruce Bussey. Bruce is here out of Longview, Texas. He and his brother Bill are both here. Bill, of course, the founder of the Great Texas Balloon Race. And I guess I can let the secret out of the bag. That all burn we did this morning with just the burners only.
Yes, the candlestick.
The candlestick. We've been doing that at the Great Texas Balloon Race in Longview for about 20-odd years now. And I shared that with, help me.
Paul Petrie.
No. Downstairs.
Oh, with Lori.
Lori,
Yes,
thank you.
yes.
Apologies, Lori. Had a senior moment there.
Lori Riedel.
Yeah, I told Lori about that a few years ago and said, we ought to do this out here at Albuquerque, and showed him a picture of it. And sure enough, the idea has taken off. Pardon the pun.
Yeah, there you go. So we had the Queen's Guard go overhead before. Now we have the Keystone Willie.
Yep.
Will LaPointe there from Oklahoma flying that. I haven't seen the ex-con get in the air yet.
I was going to say.
Probably won't now. Well, I shouldn't say that. I was going to make a joke about he won't get in the air because the cops are out there. But as I look through there, I think I see. I might see.
Yeah, I think we do see.
That looks like him right through the middle there. Yeah. So the cops are out, so when they'll be putting up the roadblocks.
Yeah, the two normally go together, and you'll see it in a moment.
Yep, he is. Now I can see right through there.
Yep, you can see that he'll be dressed in his black and white striped prison garb, and he and Keystone Willie usually fly together sort of as a team.
In fact, there he goes right now.
Just launching right now. The Hartzels are in the air now. You can see 1, 2, 3 identical balloons. Blue.
Yeah, go ahead, pick them up. Tell me which one's which.
I have no clue. I've been after Joe and Rhett and Luke to put some kind of a symbol on each balloon to show me who's what. I think, just looking real quickly, I think this is Rhett here to the left, and that would be Joe in the right, and I think that's Luke in the middle flying the, if you'll notice, one of the balloons does not have the silver around this. Yeah, get those binoculars that Kenan brought us, and you can tell. But one of them doesn't have the silver around the stars. That's the only way I could tell any difference between them. But I think
if they continue to rotate them around with that turning vent, we'll be able to pick the banner off, be able to look up the banner. We're getting a reflection off that one. So
just looking, I think that's Rhett to my left, and this would be Joe to the right, and I think that would be Luke in the middle. But I could be wrong. Luke, I am your father. Darth Vader. The Force is now with us officially, as Darth Vader and Master Yoda are in the skies. Those two balloons brought to us, of course, from Belgium, long way away. Speaking of having been in the UK, there is the Union Jack balloon also getting airborne. Beautiful red, white, and blue Union Jack, which is obviously a combination of the Scottish Saltire, the St. George's Cross, which is the English flag, and I forget the third one. But I think it's a combination of 3 flags, and I should know that, but I've forgotten.
Hey, we want to say hi to our friends down there at the Gondola Club down there. They actually have a TV with our feed down there, so they're able to hear and see us down there as well. And they have brought us breakfast this morning. The Gondola Club, of course, a great place for you to be a VIP here at the Balloon Fiesta. You get special parking, you get shuttles around the field here, you get your own private viewing area. Of course, it doesn't mean you're locked in there. You can certainly wander in and out among the field, but a great way to enjoy Balloon Fiesta. I do understand that most of the sessions this year are sold out, although you can always keep checking back for cancellations and see if you can slip into there. Some friends of mine actually did find a cancellation one day. They just happened to be calling at the right time. But check that out, Gondola Club. Tickets for the Gondola Club go on sale about April 1st.
Wow.
So put it on your calendar to be able to get those tickets for that for next year. But go by and check it out, and hi to all the folks in the Gondola Club. Thanks for bringing us breakfast.
Absolutely. It may be a while before we get a chance to enjoy it, but nevertheless, it's nice to have it. I just saw we had a shot there of the new Verizon Balloon. They're new to Balloon Fiesta this year. And but there it is. I can't see it from where we are, but one of our cameras has caught it, the white balloon with the Verizon logo. I'm a Verizon customer, not that that makes any difference, but have been for a long time. And Admiral Nelson's spiced rum. You know, I could go with a little bit of that this morning. Put that in a little cup of hot chocolate, and yeah.
Route 66, it's actually got a different name here, but I should call it up here. Black one here with the whole Route 66 pattern on it, the coyotes, the cactus, all of those wonderful things going overhead here as well. Here's, you talked about the Hartzell balloons, those blue and silver stars on there. there's a whole other set of balloons that look basically identical.
Yep.
Here's the one that's a little bit off going up here right in the middle there. It's kind of got the red and orange, blue, and yellow in there. The identical ones are right below it, yet to take off. That would be David Bear and Ray Bear. Larry's ready now. Oh, so Larry's got something down there on the field.
Oh,
Larry
good.
Arians, what's going on?
How are you?
We're getting ready to go live. Get ready to go.
You're on, Larry.
He was
Hey,
on.
we are.
There he is.
Thanks, guys. We are down here, probably, in my opinion, one of the best special shaped balloons is Arabelle the cow from Greenland Dairies, and they are cold inflating Arabelle right now, and you should see the crowd down here watching this cold inflation. And as Art and Glenn know, to cold inflate a balloon of this size is quite a chore. But they got a lot of help here, as you can see. We got a lot of people here around Arabelle, and we're going to try and stand her up here in just a moment, and everybody will cheer when this balloon gets up. This is an enormous special shaped balloon, but it's one of the most popular here at the Fiesta. We thought we'd bring it to you here. The Moo Crew is on hand for hot inflating Arabelle the cow from Greenland Dairies. So, from out here on the field, Balloon Fiesta Live, back to you, Art and Glenn.
Thanks, Larry. And Larry's absolutely right. You know, Arabelle, we used to, I don't know if we still do, we used to have a public vote on what their favorite special shape was. And year in and year out, Arabelle was always one of the top three in that category as fan favorites, if you will.
We haven't done that at Balloon Fiesta for a few years,
I don't
but you
think
know,
so.
there's a number of people that are doing that. I saw something on Instagram. Somebody's running their own photo contest, and it's around what's your favorite special shape type of thing. So there are people that continue to pick that up as well. And you know, the deal is we put Arabelle out there pretty close to the center stage, the Wells Fargo Stagecoach, and that does bring a lot of people. And you know, looking out there, we have a lot of people here
Yeah,
today.
now that about half the field is launched, we've got a huge crowd, and it's just now coming visible for us.
And there is Arabelle standing up on our feed monitor here.
Yep, and I see center stage getting inflated. It's kind of still about half cold inflated. High overhead, the 7-Eleven balloon getting airborne. Bud Person away in the balloon Twisted Gator, and the balloon is a blue and orange and white spiral. That has a bit of history behind it. That was the first spiral-shaped or spiral-patterned balloon ever constructed by Aerostar Balloons. When Aerostar was operating, they no longer build hot air balloons, but that was the very first spiral pattern they did, and always remembered that balloon. And this one taking off is one of my favorites, Hearts of Fire.
Brad Rice flying that.
Yeah, I
was going to say he's from Rio Rancho, and he's flying the banner for Cottonwood Mall, which is out on the northwest corner of the city.
My first year here at Fiesta, 1984, I got a really nice photograph of that balloon against a clear blue sky like we have this morning.
Yes.
Sold it to a postcard company in Texas and got paid $50 for my photograph. They are still producing that postcard to this day and making money off of it, and I got $50.
Well, there you go. At least you got 50.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, there's one of our brand new special shapes out there, right next to the Verizon balloon, which we can kind of see on our feed there. But the pink one back there, you remember Nelly B?
Nelly B?
Now we have Princess Nelly.
Oh, how cool.
So she has a crown now. So we have this is a brand new special shape, the third in the series of these. The first one was a white elephant that was Nelly. The second one identical, only in pink. And that was Nelly B, and now, of course,
Princess Nelly.
Princess with a giant tiara.
Well, another of our new special shapes. I just caught my eye. You know, we were talking about the penguin balloons earlier that Andrew Holly brings us from England.
Yes.
Puddles and Splash. Well, we announced earlier this summer that Puddles and Splash were pregnant, and at Longley, just a couple of weeks ago in England, they gave birth to their baby penguin chick, and his name is Tall Steve.
I see it out there now.
And Tall Steve is right out there. Andrew Holly flying Tall Steve. And I'm sure that's either Puddles or Splash on just to the right. I'm sure they're both going to be down there. So we have Mom and Dad, Puddles and Splash, and the new baby chick, Tall Steve, is here with us.
And you know, that whole romance really started here.
It did start here.
You know,
did start here.
All kinds of things. There were proposals from the two between the two
Between
going
the two,
on.
that's
and
right.
accepting. Their first kiss, I think, was here.
Yeah.
They went AWOL before they got here one year.
Yeah,
you know,
they got
kinda
lost.
took a round walkabout
they went
or something.
walkabout one year trying to get here. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
now they gave birth. I was there for the delivery, which was great fun.
Oh, there you go.
And Tall Steve is here with us this year for the first time.
Yeah, can't wait to see all three of those in the air
Yeah,
together.
that'll be fun. See Puddles and Splash and Tall Steve, their new baby chick. So great to have them here. There's the Verizon Balloon. I can see it now clearly just down beside. We see center stage standing up, the balloon from Wells Fargo, and one of their, it looks like maybe both of their round balloons are also
Looks like
down
both
there.
to me. Hard to tell from the one we can't quite see, but there is definitely one of the regular shapes in there.
Yep. Oh, I also see out of the Dallas area, Richard Rhett is here. Richard has his balloon, which is a gold and yellow balloon. He's in this row that's, well, the row facing us right now to the south. It's gold and yellow, red on top and bottom, and then around the center has a band of silver with some multicolored diamonds. I've always, those always remind me of the international flags that you fly on sailing ships.
Yes.
Signal flags. It's always kind of the feel that I've gotten from watching that balloon. I'm not sure that's what they are, but just that's the image that it always draws up in my mind.
High in that picture we're looking at now, the kind of neon light green with the butterflies on it. That's from Montreal, Danielle Francoeur flying Los La Monique.
And Danielle has flown in the America's Challenge gas balloon race a number of times. I don't know if she is this year or not.
She is not.
She's not? Okay.
So the gas race scheduled to start their inflation at about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Launch closer to 6 o'clock. The idea behind the America's Challenge gas race, it's a distance race. So they'll fill these balloons up that are about 1/3 the size of these hot air balloons. They'll fill them up with hydrogen. They'll launch out of here. Their fuel, if you will, is sandbags. So if they jettison some sand, they become lighter, they go higher. They'll fly anywhere to 3 to 4 days. And they're talking about the East Coast up in Canada. They're talking about some really good weather this year for some nice long distance flights.
Well, they've changed the trajectory then, because at one time they were talking about headed a little more southerly direction down toward New Orleans.
It's moving to the north from what I
Moving to the north,
understand.
okay.
So 4 U.S. teams and then 4 international teams. One from Poland, one from Germany, one from France, and one from Switzerland. So those 8 teams will be taking off. They're scheduled. I haven't gotten a final word, but right now scheduled to start their inflation again at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and a liftoff at 6 o'clock. If you've not seen that, that's a pretty impressive thing as well. Because it is a distance race, every balloon will take off from the exact same spot on the field. We'll bring a stage out to the field.
Yep.
Nobody gets even a 2-foot head start on those. National anthems are played as they all lift off to start those flags.
Yeah, gas ballooning has an entire ceremonial protocol to it of its own, and it's quite fun to watch and see. Hey, Dos Equis, the most interesting balloon in the world, has gotten airborne. And is Scotty flying the balloon this year?
Scott should be flying that one.
Yep. Dos Equis, the black balloon with the golden X's. I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I drink Dos Equis.
So there goes one of those regular shaped Wells Fargo balloons that you were talking about.
One
the
of
other
the
one's still
round
there.
balloons.
It's another one. We don't know who's flying it. Could be Don Boyer. Could be Ron Sanchez. Flying one of the 2 round ones. Beth Smith, of course, will be flying probably flying the
Center stage, yeah. Yep.
The Seasons balloon overhead here, purple one with the pumpkin and the snowman, the yellow pennants, other things on there as well. Ben Drennan from Georgia flying the balloon called, appropriately, Seasons.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say Larry's out there. So let's
Larry's live
toss
again?
it to Larry Aarons on the field. Larry?
Okay, somebody cue Larry. Tell him he's live. We've lost his audio feed
Lost his audio. We'll fix it and come back to him.
Yep, tell Larry we'll
Magic
check that.
happened.
Oh, there he
is
is.
the Balloon Fiesta. And just moments ago, this beautiful couple got engaged. You proposed.
Yes, sir, it is.
What is your name?
Dalton Privet.
Dalton, and your
Brooke.
Did you say yes, Brooke?
I did say yes.
Can you replay this for? Did you get on your knees?
I did.
You want to do it again?
I guess I can.
Why not?
still
This is
shaking.
Balloon Fiesta TV. Are you still shaking?
Yeah.
Look at you. Let's see the ring. Oh, how lovely.
It's pretty.
You are so beautiful, you two.
Thank
Show
you.
us how you did it, Dalton. Just give us a moment here. We're going to reenact it, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Oh, this is
I hope
great.
she says yes again.
Oh,
Look at that, live on Balloon Fiesta Live here.
congratulations.
Thank you.
What? You'll never forget getting engaged at the Balloon
I
Fiesta.
know. I will never.
That means they have to come back every year for their anniversary.
Here, where are you from?
We're from Bertalis.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. How about it for this couple here? Another magic moment here at the Balloon Fiesta. Back to Art and Glenn.
Thanks, Larry. They keep showing us on camera when we're fiddling around up here. They never come to a steady shot of us. I don't know what the deal is there. That's pretty cool. I was just concerned that when he asked the second time, maybe she would have had a change of heart and said no. But apparently she said yes even when he asked for the second time. So that's good. Congratulations to them. You know, and that happens not infrequently here at Fiesta. We've had proposals. We've also had weddings take place here at Balloon Fiesta Park. Don't stand over there by the heater warming your hands. Mine are frozen. That's not fair. So we've got about half the field has gotten into the sky. We're starting to inflate now, as you can see in one of the camera shots here from our position. The second wave of balloons just beginning to cold inflate here on the south end of the field as we continue to work our way down toward the center and the northern end of the field. We can just see Tall Steve, as we mentioned, the penguin, still standing up nice and tall at the far end of the field. They'll be launching in a moment. Farmers Insurance, their balloon is red, white, and blue, and it's standing not too far from center stage, down right around our center stage, where the main stage entertainment takes place. And they'll be launching very shortly. They're right next to, there's the Verizon Balloon again, brand new to Balloon Fiesta, and it looks like Princess Nelly, our pink elephant special shaped balloon with her new crown, as Art was saying, a brand new version of what used to be Nelly B. Now we have Princess Nelly, and yep, she's getting airborne. Beautiful hot pink elephant with a crown and pink jewels on the top of the balloon. So Nelly, or Princess Nelly, now getting airborne. Cox Utility Services airborne here to my left. The black balloon on the bottom and the bright yellow, golden yellow on the top. A number of sport balloons getting inflated and airborne now out of the field. We're just about to come to the area where we should start to see a number of special shapes, a number more of them, where we see, again, Tall Steve is there. I think Puddles and Splash, both of the other two penguin balloons are probably inflated down there. I've been looking to see if we could spot maybe a few more, but we can't see them. And Larry has another live report from us from the field, so let's go down onto the launch field and Larry Ahrens.
Talk about this balloon a little bit, but we thought we'd get up here by the pilot and crew of Cymbaloo, the Sky Safari balloon from Longleat in the UK. And my colleague Glenn Moyer just came back from the UK and the balloon event they have at Longleat just a few weeks ago. And this is one of the balloons from Great Britain here, along with the penguins over here that I'm sure the guys will be talking about as well. They're getting ready. Yeah, this is Balloon Fiesta TV. How are you?
Okay, how you doing? Welcome.
Good.
Good to have you. This is one of our pilots from the Great Britain.
Yeah. Nice to see you. I work with Glenn Moyer.
Yes. This is Longleat. Obviously, Glenn came down to Longleat, so it's
What's your name?
Ashley Moore.
Yeah, nice to see you. Have a great flight today.
Thank you very much.
And Mike Rice here with the board of directors of the Balloon Fiesta, and the zebra hasn't showed up yet.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're waiting on the ride balloons to get off. You know, we got to get that. You know, get them going, and then we'll follow all the shapes, and this roll will come next.
Well, it's great to have this balloon here. It was just in the UK a few weeks ago, and they're about to take off. So that's it from Sky Safari. Yay! Jay, how are you? Balloon Fiesta TV here.
This is just an outstanding day, and
great.
thank you so much. You have a rich history with the Balloon Fiesta,
Yes,
that's
we
for
do.
sure.
Yeah, I've been around a little while, and so have you.
Yes, indeed. It's a beautiful, they couldn't be any nicer, and I'll tell you, everybody's done such a great job of planning and preparing, and public safety in particular has done a great job.
See you, Jay.
Good to see you, Larry.
All right. Enjoy your flight, guys. All right. Well, that's it from here. Back to you, Art and Glenn.
Thank you, Larry. And please say hello to Ashley Moore for me, a good friend from the UK. We were just together, as you say, in the Cymbaloo balloon. We look forward to seeing Cymbaloo in the sky here very shortly. Cymbaloo, a beautiful lion's head balloon that is the logo, the icon for Longleat. Longleat has a little bit of history for you. When we see the balloon, it was established 51 years ago as the first safari park outside of the continent of Africa. And the first wild animals they brought into Longleat were indeed a group of lions. And so the Longleat lion is their advertising logo, their marketing logo. And Ashley Moore, Andrew Holly, and a bunch of other folks, we were all just there together at the second Sky Safari. And happy to announce that in the course of that, it became now the largest ballooning event in the United Kingdom. So I have the honor of being the commentator at the largest ballooning events in the United States and in the United Kingdom. So quite proud of that. And good to see Ashley Moore here. And Cymbaloo, we'll see it in the sky very shortly. Smokey Bear, talking about shapes and bringing things a little closer to home here. Smokey Bear is in the air, and of course most people know the story of the original bear cub that was injured in a forest fire here and became the advertising icon for the U.S. Forest Service, saying only you can prevent forest fires.
Here being Capitan, New Mexico, down in the southern part of the state.
And
Alan Wynn's flying that.
Smokey is actually buried there, right? There is a...
I believe so, yes.
There's
certainly there's a whole little museum and monument area down there as well, so, yep.
Also in the sky, just beside Smokey, is the balloon that is the red, blue, and gold and black spiral is Ken Layer. And Ken has the distinction of being the only pilot I ever instructed, that I ever taught to fly. And I'm not sure that's a good or a bad thing, but he was started out crewing for me out in Sacramento, California, and wanted to learn to fly. And so he and his wife, Marianne, are back this year. Good to see them here and good to see Ken in the air. The Farmers Insurance Group balloon, I talked about them a moment ago, red, white, and blue, is also airborne now, coming just toward our location, as we're beginning to see more and more of the second wave of balloons standing up in front of us. Dr. Tom McConnell, one of the early interviews that Larry did this morning, his balloon, the New Mexico Zia balloon, standing up just in front of us here, although Tom is no longer flying, his second generation, his son now flying the balloon.
So there's some cheering going up with the silhouettes of the kind of the safari up there. I think that is, Carolyn Lilly, the balloon called It's a Zoo.
Yeah, and
yep,
it's
with
the
a
Bank of the West balloon.
It does say Bank of the West. It's supposed to be sponsored by Republic Title. They must be together there.
Probably so. Also getting airborne right on the front row here is Gus T. Guppy. This is the little fish balloon.
Oh, I'm going to interrupt because there it is.
Well,
go
there's
ahead.
Gus. Yeah, there's
we
Gus.
had a great shot of the penguins there.
Okay,
but there's
we'll
Gus.
go back to them.
Yeah.
There's Tall Steve, and there's that's Puddles, the male, and Splash is the mom, and she's just the other side there. She's the one with the eyelashes. But there's a great shot of Puddles and Tall Steve, and there's Splash. There she is over there.
Yep.
Mom, Dad, and the little baby. Those are all three balloons that brought to us by Andrew Holly, who operates a lot of commercial balloons over in the UK through his company, Exclusive Ballooning. So I was going to say, I'm sorry, got sidetracked. Gus T. Guppy, by the way, flown by Larry Konash, who is with the Insurance Marketing Group, IMC, and they are one of the major insurance providers for hot air ballooning.
So I do see a number of there's a symbol you were talking about before.
Yep,
and
symbol is there, and also
like Bucky Beaver's
Bucky
back
Beaver
there.
is there.
Yep, and I forgot the name of we got another one going over our head here, kind of off behind us. We won't get that on the picture there.
Oh, well.
Like I said, they're coming fast and furious at us here again. We're starting to inflate the second wave.
The second wave's getting started, yep, and they're going to continue launching from the north end as well. So, yeah, it's going to get crowded.
Yep. There goes the Zia balloon.
There goes the Zia. Some cheers from the crowd down there. Again, Tom McConnell, Dr. Tom, no longer flying. By the way, Tom is quite an author, and he brought up to me this morning my very own copy of his latest book called Balloon Safety. This
I
is
saw
a
that.
this
That
is a
looks nice.
publication that he did some years ago. He's gone back and updated, revised it, added 10 different chapters to it, and he's going to be donating 25 copies to the Balloon Federation of America, 25 copies to the Quad A, which is the Albuquerque Aerostatic Ascension Association, the local balloon club, and also 25 copies to the Colorado Balloon Club. Wonderful safety reference, and great to see Dr. Tom this morning.
Tom has been an author in a number of books that the Balloon Fiesta Heritage Committee has put together.
Yes.
And Tom writes a lot of articles for our programs as well. We talked about the program earlier. There's a whole article about the Zia balloon in this year's program. You're going to want to pick one up along the Main Street concession area there. Pick one up and read all about it. And heck, you might even take it to balloon pilots, get their signatures in there, collect autographs as well.
There you go.
Nice souvenir program for you to take home as well.
Especially in the evening. Well, of course, anytime. One of the unique things about Balloon Fiesta, as you can tell, is we allow spectators to freely roam the launch field. Many balloon events are held behind a crowd line. Not here. You're able to get out there and really mix it up with everybody. So you can literally go basket to basket with your program and ask the pilot to sign the picture of their balloon. Makes for a great collectible. Speaking of balloons that I know, that actually used to be my balloon that's in the air over here to the far left. The yellow balloon with the rainbow stair-step around it, that is Lee Little, who was formerly from Oklahoma, now has moved back out, I believe, back out here to the Albuquerque area. And when I owned it, the balloon's name was Coyote Rising. I'm not sure what the name of the balloon is now. I'll have to check with Lee. I haven't had a chance to catch up to him. But good to see him in the air. There's a great shot of it on camera. Balloon still looks good. So
does look good.
That's nice to see.
That looks good. One of the many red, white, blue balloons getting airborne down here at the south end of the field. This one's called Glory. Randy Oates from Louisville, Kentucky, flying Glory for us. Coming right off the right over the stage down here.
The Kiwi is airborne from New Zealand. Of course, Kiwis don't fly, but this one does.
And right next to it, the New Mexico True Balloon, flown by Bill Lee. So the name of that balloon is Truly. From New Mexico True, Bill Lee. Okay.
I don't know.
You don't get it. Yeah.
I don't get it.
Okay.
I'm sure there was a message there, but it went right over my head.
So New Mexico True is the New Mexico tourism slogan.
Okay.
And so with Bill Lee, the name, it's
so Truly. Oh, okay. I get it now.
There you go.
Draw me a picture and I'll understand it.
There you go.
So
he's actually one of the balloon meisters. We were talking about the Red Rock Balloon Rally in Gallup in December.
Right.
He's kind of taken that over with Bill Noe as well. So, and a lot of times the governor, who holds a reading competition or contest with kids, the prize is to get a hot air balloon ride with her. And Bill Lee takes care of that for her and for us and for all the people involved as well.
There is Buddy Beaver. Bud initial E as in you're my buddy. Just
Got
okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah, as we have to make these connections.
We have to draw
sometimes.
pictures for each other here.
Yeah.
So Buddy Beaver is in the sky there with those big old buck teeth right at the front. There's a good look at the Kiwi from down under. The birds that don't fly, but the Kiwi bird, of course, from the great nation of New Zealand. And let's see. We're starting to launch the second wave already now from the front, the south end of the field here.
It's almost like we're going to get through this end before they get the north end out.
Yeah. There's another. Isn't that one of the new shapes, the new frog down there that's just launching? See him just.
Oh, yes, I see him.
Let me get into my spotting chart here.
There you go. I see Carousel taking off from the east side of the field. And the Kachina balloon here as well. I saw one of the other shapes go by. There goes. The penguins are actually getting airborne now as well.
Yep, there they go. I'm still scrolling through here to find the frog. I'll find him in a minute. I know he's in here. But you go right ahead and entertain folks while I'm preoccupied.
You know, I was just talking about it. Seems like not only the balloons are flying but here, but the word is definitely out where the tower is here. Lots of visitors coming up and seeing us, and that's.
I've noticed we're no longer in a super secret location.
It is definitely not super secret. It's probably not even secret anymore.
I think it's the Scottish flag that gave it away.
You think so? Yeah. Or is it all these live TV cameras?
Well, it could be that. Yeah, it could be the cameras.
It could be all. Yeah.
But I think.
Or if somebody gave you a hard time on Facebook, it's hard to keep it secret when you post pictures of your location.
Well, that's true. Yeah. The frog balloon. Now that I finally found that, is the balloon is called Hyla the Frog, and it's flown by John Viner. Fourth year here at Balloon Fiesta, and that is a balloon from the UK, North Muscombe. From boy, my friends in the UK, Mark Fasson, if he's watching, is killing me right now. Anyway, from Nottinghamshire. So that's the part of the UK they're from. There is Cymbaloo, the balloon from Longleat that Larry was live at a few minutes ago. Ashley Moore, my good friend from Longleat, flying the balloon, that beautiful Lion's Head balloon. And there is Puddles Splash and Tall Steve, Andrew Holly flying Tall Steve. I'm not sure who's in the two penguins. I think Chris Libachuk from Alaska is down with us. Chris helped Andrew Holly, of course, is the British pilot who a year ago we were celebrating him being the first and only person to have flown a hot air balloon in all 50 states, and he did it in 43 days. And Chris Libachuk was one of the pilots from Alaska that worked with us on the world record attempt. And so I think Chris is here flying one of the two penguins, either Puddles
Andrew
or
was
Splash.
supposed to bring that balloon that he did that record in all the states with him to Fiesta here. So I don't know if we'll get a chance to see it in the sky one of these 9 days.
That balloon actually lives here in the States. He keeps it here to fly. And so it might be that we'll see it at some point this week. But right now,
he does have it registered, so hopefully we will.
There's Andrew waving to us, as a matter of fact. Good morning,
Good morning, Andrew.
And Tall Steve from the United Kingdom.
There you
Good to have
go.
them here.
What a great
and
story.
by the way,
to be able to follow through.
Andrew, since he was here last year, has also gotten engaged to a lovely lady named Jennifer. And so not only...
Did he get the hint from Puddles and Splash?
I think Puddles and Splash had something to do with it. Yes, indeed. So it's, it's fun to have Andrew here. Jennifer's here as well. And so they have a wedding coming up. I don't know if they've set the date. If they have, they haven't told me. I'm hoping my invitation shows up because I'd love to go back to England for any reason.
Maybe Tall Steve will deliver it.
Maybe Tall Steve will bring me an invitation.
Yeah.
You never can tell. Hey,
There
also
goes the Hopper Frog up there.
Yeah, the Hopper Frog. While you look that up, also getting airborne, my next door neighbor and good friend Pat Harwell, flying the balloon called Maverick, is in the sky. It is a royal blue balloon with a Mardi Gras themed spiral. You can see the gold, the green, and the purple. And his grandson, Duncan Hernandez, lives here in Albuquerque and is a brand new pilot as well. Got his license back in March. So he's a new Albuquerque balloonist.
And the Hopper Frog we talked about is Kermie. It's called Kermie from Quebec, Canada.
And what is
Jacob Valancourt flying that.
Okay, and what is this black lion?
That's
that
one
we're
of the other
seeing here?
lion
That's
balloons.
another lion
See
balloon.
if we can, whoops, might help if I spelled lion right now.
Well, that could help. So you designed the spotting program, so you know how to use it better than I do. I just scroll and look at the pictures as they pass by, and by the time that I find what I'm looking for, they've already gone. So I got to get a little more.
Of course, you know, with 550 balloons in here, trying to put tags on all of them. So
yeah,
that
and scrolling through 88 special shapes. I mean, it takes a while just to do that. So you guys need to slow down the flight. You know, give me time to look this stuff up.
he's in there. I did see the mariachi stand up farther out there, so that's going by in my scroll all the time, and I keep wanting to stop there.
And while you're looking at the lion, I'm especially going to point out the balloon just launching here to my left. Maybe Church can get a good shot of the balloon here, the red and yellow striped balloon. This is the balloon called Slanja, and that is the official New Mexico. There it is on screen. The official New Mexico tartan balloon. Tartan, of course, is the fabric of Scotland, and I've even been wearing my clan scarf this morning from Clan Douglas. But yeah, so the balloon Slanja, which is the official New Mexico tartan, is airborne just off to our left there. The red and yellow stripes also has blues and greens in it. You can look up the New Mexico tartan online and see what the official tartan looks like, but it's patterned just like the balloon.
So we talked about Cymbaloo, the brown one was going off with the penguins.
Yeah,
the black lion is just Simba.
Just Simba, okay.
Just Simba from Lake George, New York. Todd Monahan was flying that overhead for us.
No relation, just a similarity in names.
Right.
But cool. Okay, so now we know that.
So so now we'll remember that one here. So
Yep. I can recall that. I think this balloon, this special shape that's in the sky in the center of the field now. We never have figured out exactly what it is, but
the blue one.
the blue one with wings and polka dots and the carrot nose.
Yeah.
That's here from Saint Jean sur Richelieu, which also hosts its own very fine balloon rally, and it was created by an artist up there for that balloon event. But I never have figured out what it is. Just a flying oddity, I guess.
Couple of our other sponsor balloons right there in the center of the field, and center of our picture there as well. The Loveless Health Center balloon, and next to that, the 770 KKOB,
Yep.
which, of course, we've told the story for 46 years. This entire Balloon Fiesta started for the 50th birthday of radio station KOB. That's when they could have 3 letters in their call letters.
Yep.
So they started with that. The idea was Tommy Rutherford was working for the radio station. He knew Sid Cutter. Said, "Hey, Sid, we're gonna have this birthday party at Coronado Center. Can you bring some balloons by? We hear that's kind of the new big thing." So Sid decided that he could do that, and got 21 balloonists to agree to come. Due to some weather problems and transportation issues, 13 of them actually made it. They expected a couple hundred people to show up. 20,000 people showed up out there. And so that has become known as the first Balloon Fiesta, because the very next year they hosted the World Hot Air Balloon Championships
That's right. And
in Albuquerque.
they had some celebrities here for that very first one. I remember I've seen a video that has Slim Pickens on there.
Yep.
And Slim, I mean, if for people who are old enough to remember Slim Pickens, golly, I mean, he was as country can get, but great fun. And there's a great video of that first balloon event here, and Slim is in it, and it's funny to watch.
Ron Curry flying the KKOB balloons, been flying it for a long time. So lots of issues and things, or lots of great times with Ron, and lots of great times here as well. There goes Dale Wong.
I was just about to say, Ursa Minor is a Dale Wong in the green balloon with the vertical bands of blues, yellows, purples, and pinks. And right over the center of the field, more of our special shapes are appearing. This is the Alien Rocket, and that is flown by Alan Bard. Second year here at Fiesta. They are here from Ottawa, Ontario in Canada. So the Alien Rocket, the black and green rocket ship, is there. And I think we have, is Larry live on the field one more time? So Larry Aarons, we'll find out where he's at and what's going on. Larry? Well, looks like we're having some audio difficulties again with Larry.
Here's some of the notes. This is, I don't even know the name of this balloon.
Yeah,
That's pretty
we'll have,
cute.
I think we'll have to go back to Larry.
Go back to him there. Yep.
This is our first year doing this, and we're obviously having some growing pains. We did kind of a rehearsal yesterday trying to see how much range we had on the remote cameras and microphones, but with all the people out there and all the balloons in the air, it may just be that we've got, there might be some interference or whatever, but bear with us. It's growing pains, our first time doing this, so Larry will get back to you as quickly as we can reestablish the signal.
Diane Carlson and her flip-flops up there.
Yep, flip-flops. She took a great picture where she had somebody lying on the ground with their feet in the air, and they positioned it just so it looked like that their feet had slid into the flip-flops on the side of the balloon. Yeah,
Diane Carlson with Plano pins, collecting pins, a very big thing here at Balloon Fiesta.
That is, of course, where you can go and get all of the special shape pins. Diane is the official marketer for all of the official special shape pins.
And you know, we're doing another new thing here for us this year as well. Of course, we've always asked people to post their pictures and do their tweets and things like that with the hashtag Balloon Fiesta. We're now collecting those, and we're going to put them on our feed. So we've got this up here. So here's one that Kim Bruner is telling us so many balloons. She's got a picture, and she's only got a few of the balloons in the picture there. So if you're posting, tweeting or posting to Instagram, we'd love to see your stuff here. We'll occasionally put this up on the feed here, show it on the field here as well. So we're kind of watching what you're saying and pictures that you're posting. We'll pick those up automatically and share those with you as well.
Just make sure that you use the hashtag Balloon Fiesta.
Balloon Fiesta,
and
exactly.
Pick it up.
And make sure your Twitter feed is public so that we can get to it and not be able to do that.
Just over our location, another new special shape. You see the bright pink and purple baby buggy, the one with the rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Easy for you to say.
Easy for me to say. Is Baby Car, and this is Eduardo Salza. Eduardo is here from Sao Paulo, Brazil. 8th year as a pilot here, but first year for that new special shape, the Baby Car with the rubber baby buggy bumpers. He said twice fast.
There you go. And our Flying Gator out there in the center of the field. Oh, there's on our feed there. There's the other Creamland balloon. So we saw Arabelle inflate earlier, and there's the Flying Gator out there. Chico Paulo from Brazil bringing us the Flying Gator. Got the little rocket pack on his back there.
And I can see straight down the field now. You were talking about that new, the new special shape, the mariachi.
The mariachi.
Yeah. And there's another new special shape down there that I think is from Texas.
Oh, yes, the Armadillo.
The Armadillo. You know, years ago, and I mean probably 20 or 30 years ago, you know, the University of Texas Longhorns, the Texas Longhorn iconic, obviously, cow is the symbol of the University of Texas. But there was a time back in the days of the hippies when they actually tried to change the mascot to the armadillo, because the armadillo is somewhat, I don't know if it's native to Texas, but he's certainly popular in Texas. It didn't take off, of course. They were trying to get it named the official state animal and all that kind of stuff. But a little bit of Texas history for you there. But the armadillo, and this is cool because he's got his cowboy hat, he's got his Stetson on, he's got 6 shooters on his hip, and he's a special, cool shape to look at. Brand new, so he'll be fun to watch for.
From Brazil, yep. We'll talk more about that one as it happens here.
Yeah,
hey,
who in Brazil knows to build a cowboy Texan armadillo? I mean, how did they figure that out?
You know what the game plan is, because it's been happening every year for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
The Brazilians go out and they design some really cool special shape.
They bring them up here.
Exactly.
Show
Bring them
them
to
to the
Fiesta
world,
and
sell them
off. Go
That's
back
it.
and, rinse, repeat.
Yep.
So go through the process again. And so a number of great balloons, a number of great shapes coming out of Brazil there. And they bring them here first.
Yep. It's build, sell, repeat. It's a pretty simple process.
That's it. Hey, we talked earlier about America's Challenge, the gas balloon race scheduled to go off at 2 o'clock this afternoon, inflate at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Kim Vesley is the media liaison, press person for America's Challenge. She joins us up here on the tower here. Kim, good morning. I don't know if we have her.
Do we have her mic live? I don't think we do.
Yeah, we kind of threw a curve. Yeah. So Kim is here. You're actually on our camera here.
Oh,
yeah,
hi,
that's why I
Kim.
put you here. There you go.
Oh, okay.
So what's the latest?
Last I have heard, we're going to have a briefing at noon.
Briefing at noon.
And we'll have a final determination then, but it looks good for a launch tonight on schedule about 6 o'clock.
Okay, and where are they going to go?
And they're going between a couple of weather systems, and they're going to head to the upper Midwest and to the Northeast and maybe up into Canada. Looks like we might have a pretty long race this year.
Wow. All the way up in Canada, possibly.
Yeah.
We've had a team, how many years ago was it that we had teams that ended up in Canada?
It's been a while. Well, let's see. 13 was the year that Peter and Barbara went to Canada last time.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Canada is not infrequent.
Well, that's true.
occurrence,
Yeah, it's not unusual that the weather pattern carries them up to the north. But yeah.
So inflation still scheduled to launch still at
around
6?
6 o'clock.
All right here on the field. And then, of course, we've got a balloon glow after that as well with the afterglow fireworks as well.
And we'll try and fix Kim's mic next time.
Yeah, so that we can really hear you for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thanks, Kim, for coming by. We'll be looking forward to updates throughout the week on how that race is progressing.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Kim.
Yeah, the America's Challenge is one of the many events that are all a part of Balloon Fiesta, of course. And so, yeah, we'll get, hopefully they'll get off. And if they launch on schedule at 6 o'clock, that'll be unusual, because usually it's the wee hours of the morning. It's usually like midnight when I go home. I can't do that and do Dawn Patrol the next morning all at the same time. But yeah, it would be great if they do launch at about 6 o'clock this evening. That'll be fun to see. The Coronado Center balloon is just getting airborne. We talked a lot this morning about how this event began 46 years ago with the celebration for radio station KOB. Well, it all took place at Coronado Center. And so their balloon, and you can see it says Coronado Center, birthplace of Balloon Fiesta, right on the side of the balloon there. Pat Fogue is also airborne in the IMTS balloon. You know, you used to have a nice orange balloon, but now they've changed their color pattern. It's a white with green and blue on it, but quite a pretty balloon still.
So we talked about Creamland before. The regular shaped balloon is up out there as well. And, yep, there they go on that side over there. And there's another one of our special shapes back there, turning his head away from us.
That's the little pilot balloon.
Pilot balloon is what it looked like, yep.
Yeah. I'll scroll through these 80 photographs again here and see if we can. Yeah, I found that one came up pretty quickly. That one is actually, the balloon is called Tolfi.
Yes.
Okay. I thought it was to fly at first, but no, it's Tolfi. and that is Charles Gourmet. First year here, and they are here from Hans-sur-Lisse, Belgium. I hope I said that right. Ina Vanderkratz, who's from Holland and watching, can probably tell me if I mispronounced that, and I'm sure I probably did.
So a number of tie-dye balloons are here as well. One coming in high overhead here. This is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds from Massachusetts. Rudolph.
I think somebody used that name once before.
Yeah, you think so?
I think so.
I think so.
It was a musical group, I seem to recall.
Yep. And, but that's the name of that one. I saw one of the other ones go off before. I think it was Hallucinations. But many of those tie-dye balloons made right here in Albuquerque.
Hallucinations is what you have when you have Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
There you go. There you go.
Goodness.
And we mentioned the mariachi balloon.
We've mentioned him several times.
Now.
He's got his back turned to us, waving to the crowd off on the north end of the field. And Tolfi, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, is in the air.
Well, and you know, they gave us a pronouncer, but the pronouncer is just as cryptic as the name
itself. So, yeah, it doesn't do any good to have a pronouncer when it's all the same. The Creamland Dare, I think we talked about the Moo Crew. They're up in their round balloon.
Double duty for them to
get both,
put both of them up.
Get Arabelle and the round balloon up. And Phillips 66 has their red and black and white balloon standing up tall. Phillips 66 is a big sponsor of ours this year, and inviting you to fuel up and go aloft. And I fueled up just at the Phillips 66 right down the road here yesterday.
So mariachi from Mexico, as you might expect. Daniel Escalona flying the mariachi balloon for us and using the turning vent to kind of spin it around. We're going to be able to see the front there, the big old guitar. That would really be a bass guitar, I guess, if they wouldn't have that size.
Well, no, actually, the mariachi guitars are a little bit different, and they have many of them that are different sizes.
For some of the different ranges,
for the different
pitches and things
yeah,
like that. That's what I'm saying. This is almost
sounds.
a bass there, if you will.
It's I forget
as
what
big as that one's going to be.
There's a term for it, and I forget now what it is for that large size of a guitar, but I'll think of it as soon as we're off the air this morning, I'm sure.
But you know, that's a great example here to say that even though we have these fun little shapes here, many of them are still based on the regular round-shaped design. We can see his body is that round shape.
It's essentially a round balloon.
Round balloon with kind of the head and the arms on it, and of course the guitar on the front there. With Tofi, the pilot balloon over here, regular shaped balloon, and he's got the helmet pieces on it.
And we can see the Armadillo just launching now, and the same thing. The Armadillo has basically the same round. Every special shape is built around a round balloon.
Even Arabelle.
Even Arabelle. They all are. Even the Stagecoach. It doesn't look like it, but the center of the balloon is actually essentially a round balloon, and then all of the extra material is built onto it to create the special shape.
So if you get close to those, look up inside. You'll see exactly what we've been talking about to make that happen.
And what's amazing, if you get a chance to look right up inside, is there's so much bungee rope inside of those things to hold to create the shape, because you can't sew square corners with a piece of fabric. So there's all sorts of ropes and lines that create tension. A lot of times there's so much rigging inside the balloon, it looks like a spider's web up inside there. It's really, it's quite interesting and sometimes quite scary.
You remember the
pilot up inside those?
The pilot ship a couple of years ago? The pilot, so I got a chance to go. That one was probably the most intricate inside I've seen of any of the special shapes.
You know, years ago here, I had the chance to fly the Financial Times special shape, which is basically a rolled-up newspaper. And it was one of the few special shapes that did not have a great deal of rigging inside it. It was basically a cylinder with a slight adaptation to create the folded pages of the newspaper. But I had the chance to fly that balloon here, actually when I was a student pilot, one of my very early years here at Balloon Fiesta. And there was another pilot, actually there were two other pilots on board, and but they let me have the controls for a while. Because you can't really fly at Fiesta as a student pilot. I shouldn't be telling that story.
You shouldn't tell that story.
Yeah.
We've talked multiple years about some of how our backgrounds have these parallels all through those. As a student pilot, I actually flew the Stork balloon. Larry was telling us about Dr. Stephen Covenita's Stork balloon, which they normally inflate for tethers after our flights come out here.
Yeah.
I got to fly that as a student pilot, so I flew in shape as a student as well.
Well, see, we're both in trouble then.
We are. Well, I wasn't. Mine was not at Fiesta.
Oh, okay.
Mine was not at Fiesta. So
yeah, mine was. In fact, we launched from here and flew out over out to the south over the Indian reservation. And but anyway.
So the Mexican doll is up there. Victor Chapa from Mexico. kind of just a little bit higher than our Armadillo there. And then I see my friends out there. We've talked about America's Challenge just a few minutes ago. One of the competitors
the
in that.
matching balloons.
Yep, Barbara Fricke and Peter Cuneo. So I'm not sure who's flying which one. Do you know, Kim? I know. Who's flying? Yeah, who's flying Sunrise? So they're telling me Barbara was going to fly, so that would be the one with the blue skirt. We're talking about the yellow ones with the blue and red. At the very bottom of that one is got a blue skirt. That would be Barbara Fricke.
Okay.
The other one has a yellow skirt.
Yeah.
So our friends from Germany, Sabrina Handel and Stefan, are flying that one. So both of those are homemade balloons. Barbara sewed both of those in her living room. Barbara's also on the board of directors here at Balloon Fiesta. And again, they'll be flying away in America's Challenge, hopefully later this afternoon.
Well, if she can do that, I wonder if she can hem a pair of pants for me while I'm here.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. So good to see. Those are the balloons that I get to fly year round. And so we actually put the one with we put both of them up out at Colinas del Norte Elementary School yesterday morning as part of Albuquerque Aloft.
Here is the Armadillo now. Great view of it.
Oh,
as
yeah,
he's coming
great
over
shot.
the crowd here. You can see the Stetson hat, the 2 6-shooters hanging on his hip, wearing that belt, his gun belt, and the Armadillo shell on his back, and cowboy boots and all. So that's a real Texas critter right there. Interesting new shape. Even got a star on his, that's the buckle on his gun belt there.
So I just used these really super duper binoculars that Canada's loaned us again this year. Not only some nice power on the lenses, but image stabilization as well built into that. We appreciate Canon doing those for us. And so I did put those on the balloon up there. So the one with the blue skirt, Barbara, is indeed flying.
Okay. Yeah, those are great binoculars that Canon loans us each year, and they really come into play when we have the competitions events on through the weekdays, Monday through Friday, because they give us a great opportunity to be able to see the targets up close and really keep an eye on the all the scoring for the competitive events. So thank you to Canon for those, as always. One of my good friends, Orv Olivier, has his balloon inflated right in the center of the field. It's the globe balloon that has all of the different children of different nationalities holding hands all the way around the world. And what a wonderful thought that is. And isn't it a shame that we don't live in a world that where we can all live as one? But it's a beautiful balloon. Actually is sponsored by a children's hospital up where Orv lives in, oh gosh.
Don't look at me on that one.
I know.
I'm taking pictures anyway.
I'm having a senior moment again. Okay, well, I'll think of it, but that's embarrassing. At any rate, Orv's got his balloon inflated, and yeah, I'll think of where he's from here shortly. It's where Aerostar Balloons used to be, so I should know that.
In Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Thank you. My gosh. I'm getting too old for this. So
27 years ago, I actually visited the Aerostar factory. They were still making Sport Hunter balloons at the time. Got a nice tour there, put a nice piece together on how balloons are made. Up until a couple of weeks ago, that show of 26 years ago was still running in the Balloon Museum.
Oh, the Balloon Museum, yeah.
And I understand the Balloon Museum is watching us on our live feed as well.
Yeah, I was
so
speaking
hi to
to
the folks at the Balloon Museum.
Yeah, speaking to Jill, who's a member of the
she's the executive director of the Museum Foundation.
Yep. And she and I had a nice chat Thursday afternoon there, and she was telling us that where they have their breakfast and balloons in the morning, they have a 50-inch TV they're carrying our feed. So good morning to all the fine folks over at the Balloon Museum. Talking about Aerostar balloons and about racers that we've talked about throughout the morning, the little red balloon, little red Corvette, I like to call it, that you can see in the sky right now, that is actually the original racing balloon concept.
Right.
It was built by Aerostar Balloons for Wayne Spidey Pig, the
Bond.
Wayne Bond.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I had it, then you started waving your hands around.
I am getting too old for this. I've had too many senior moments this morning. My brain's gone. It was originally built for Wayne Bond, but that is the original concept of a racing balloon. And so just wanted to point that out. The red balloon with the Zia on the top there.
Grant Crawford from Los Lunas flies that balloon.
Grant Crawford.
Calls it Junior.
Junior. Okay.
Calls it Junior.
Yeah. All right.
So, yep. So we see that around.
Yep. Grant and his lovely wife Peaches have been friends of mine for a long, long time.
Long time.
There's Orv now in his balloon, as we said, the one with all the. I've always thought that balloon should be sponsored by UNICEF. I mean, it just it fits.
It does.
You
it
know,
does.
it absolutely does.
Needs
But,
a marketing person to take care of that.
to take care. Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So did you talk about Tammy and the?
I have not talked about.
camouflage
No, I've
out
not
there?
talked about Tammy and her pink camo.
So
you can go right ahead and do. I'm fiddling with my IFB in my ear again.
So Tammy Foley has the pink camouflage balloon out there called
Not
Tamo,
with the camera.
and I've been Tammy's been kind of really getting big time into balloons along here. She tells me she now owns 6 balloons, so you can never really tell which one she's going to be flying at any time here, but she's scheduled to do this one here. So that's the pink one there. Looks like she's about to, in fact, she is airborne right now, so
Yeah,
we're getting
and,
really good on the timing here.
Yeah, she and Mike Schrum now have a new special shape that I'm sure we're going to be seeing here this year. Tammy just had she and Mike just had a bit of a terrible scare. I forget exactly where they were, but they were parked with their RV, and a tornado came through and destroyed the thing, trailer and all sorts of stuff, and they had it all replaced, and they were safe and fine. But yeah, they've had quite an eventful year. But they do have a new special shape, and I'm sure we'll be seeing it. But there she is in her pink camo.
And a couple of our international balloons there. The Festival Internacional del Globo from León, Mexico. And next to that, the Taiwan balloon.
And this must be the balloon that Larry was telling us about earlier, the one for the fallen officers. I see this multicolored blue balloon in front of us.
Right here in front of us, yes.
With the silver diamond sort of shape in the center, and then never forget with the badges with the blue stripe, the black badges, and the blue stripe, of course, which is a universal symbol for a fallen officer. And so I wonder if he'll get back up there and be able to talk with those folks, perhaps, before they get in the air this morning.
I do hear him working on his audio.
I think they're trying to get his
us.
audio signal figured out. Yeah,
I keep hearing it in our background here. You know, we've moved. We've used to be up here on the not so secret anymore tower, kind of by ourselves now. But we've moved the entire video operation, the entire audio operation up here.
It's like a mini TV studio up here this year.
We've definitely turned it into there. Hi down there. Yeah, see, they're finding us down there. So,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We're going to have to change locations next year so we can be secret again.
That or hire some press agents to handle the
crowds.
Well,
there could be that. Yeah, we could actually do tours, you know, and we could charge a small fee.
Well, there we go.
And yeah, maybe we could turn this into a money-making enterprise, perhaps.
You know, there's lots of opportunities to become a sponsor here at Balloon Fiesta. Whether you're sponsoring a balloon or becoming one of the official products or those types of things. Maybe we could push on an official sponsor for the announcers.
Well,
Balloon Fiesta Live.
One year before you joined me, back when Tom Rutherford was my partner.
Yes, I remember.
Comcast Spotlight was, maybe I shouldn't mention that, but they were our sponsors. And Tommy and I got all kinds of great Comcast swag. I mean, we were feeling, like rock stars that year. It was pretty cool. We had our own little banner in front of us. Instead of one that said, welcome sponsors, we had one that said, Comcast Spotlight. And we were the official announcers. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. So, yeah, maybe we should lobby for that again. Speaking of new sponsors, though, right next to the fallen officer balloon, this bright red balloon that we see inflating, this is the brand new Coca-Cola balloon. And this is the first
there you
year,
go, yep.
First year for Coca-Cola to be with us as our official soft drink sponsor. You see the Coca-Cola bottle that's inflated right along, well, I guess I'm sure that's their corporate tent probably, right here in Corporate Village. And, yeah, we should get, we need some Coke product up here, actually.
It's downstairs
Is it downstairs?
It's downstairs there in the...
sponsor hospitality?
Yep, and in the Coca-Cola, I call them ice boxes, but, they're those nice display cases, keeping everything ice cold, because it's always better that way.
Look how much slower the wind has gotten now, though. You see, Dawn Patrol, when they launched, they didn't hang around very long. They took off and flew away. But now you can see Tammy is just barely moving up there. And this last group of balloons, the winds have really calmed down. and not a lot of movement over the top of the field right now. So that's kind of nice.
Of course, one of the questions that always comes up here is, okay, so when are the balloons going to come back here and land here?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so of course that doesn't usually happen unless we have the Albuquerque box, which is not in effect today. So they're just going to, as they take off from here, they're obviously drifting to the south and a little bit to the west, but they're going to kind of fly down a little ways and find a decent-sized field to put the balloon down in.
You know, the problem with the picture, though, is that the Gondola Club were kind enough to bring us breakfast earlier, but you and I don't ever get a chance to stop. So our breakfast is going to be cold. It'll still be good, but it'll be cold. And I just noticed I'm looking across at the official tower, and our event director, Paul Petrin, is enjoying breakfast, probably while his is hot, as he's watching the balloons fly
Can we take a picture of that tower?
away this morning. So, yeah, Paul just turned around. I don't know what he's munching on.
Can you shoot that tower?
But our officials, so there's Paul having a nice bit of breakfast while we're over here working. Is that good, Paul?
You're on, Paul.
Was that good? Was the food good? Yeah, you enjoyed breakfast? Good for you.
That's Paul Petrin, the event director. You're on live, Balloon Fiesta Live here.
Absolutely. So remember, your mom always told you, don't talk with your mouth full. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
We sometimes have more fun here than we should.
So
hey, we talked earlier about the zebra balloons, the zebras.
Yes, we did.
There is Kazoo. You said we'd be later in the day seeing him.
There he is.
It's late in the day, but there is indeed Dean Carlton in that pink balloon with the black and white stripes. And one of the stripes is a little crooked. That's the tail of the zebra. And if the balloon ever turns around in the sky, or as he flies overhead, we'll be able to see that the face of the zebra is on the other side.
It's slowly turning there.
Slowly, yeah. Dean is the immediate past president of the Balloon Federation of America. Just finished 2 years of service, as a matter of fact, as our president. Sherry Edwards-White, that we talked about earlier with Touchstone Energy, is the brand new president. She is only the second female president we've had in the more than 50-year history of the BFA, and she is the first second-generation officer of the organization. Her dad having served as vice president back in the day, and she now is the new president. So congratulations to Sherry. Thank you to Dean for your service. And if you want to know more about the National Ballooning Club of America, all you need to do is go to bfa.net. That's Balloon Federation of America, so bfa.net. And anyone is welcome to join.
So just anybody with an interest. You don't have to be a balloonist.
You don't have to
crew,
be a pilot or a crew or own a balloon. Or as long as you like balloons, you can join. And one of the many nice things that you get is 6 times a year is a wonderful magazine called Ballooning that I'm fortunate enough to have been editor of for the past 17 years. And God willing, we'll start my 18th year in January. Hey, I think we fixed Larry's signal on the field, so let's go back down onto the field live to Larry Ahrens. Larry, take it away.
All right, guys, it wouldn't be Balloon Fiesta without the good folks at Wells Fargo. They're a big part of Balloon Fiesta every year. We're here at the Stagecoach Balloon, and you are?
Beth Wright-Smith.
Hi, Beth. How are you?
I'm great.
Well, are we standing up today, or are we going to go flying?
Now, the winds are a little bit too weird for this big of a balloon.
Yeah.
Most people don't know Wells Fargo Stagecoach actually has a name. It's called Center Stage.
Good. I'm glad you told me.
Isn't that perfect? Perfect name for it.
It is a beautiful balloon. It's such a symbol out here, and it almost wouldn't be the Balloon Fiesta without them.
Oh, we like to hear that.
Yeah, that's good. Well, you got a great crew here, and look at all the spectators. They love this thing. Center stage.
It's an amazing balloon.
It really is. How big a balloon are we talking about here?
Well, it's 100 feet wide. It's about 90 feet tall, and the envelope weighs almost 900 pounds. It's pretty heavy.
How big a crew do you need for this?
Minimum of a 20. So the crew are all doing crowd control and waiting for me to take it down, and then we really need them.
Yeah, then the work begins. Great to talk to you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a nice day.
Center stage here at Balloon Fiesta. Back to Art and Glenn.
Hey, I don't know if you guys can hear us down there, but can you get a shot? Can Tony get a shot looking up inside of center stage there?
Oh, yeah, we could show people what all that rigging and everything looks like. Oh, I almost covered myself up.
Oh, there you go, yeah. Yeah, so that's us here on the
Not used to having that little camera staring at us.
I know, yeah. So I don't know if we can get Tony to get because we can see up inside that rigging. Maybe he can rig that shot
that would be
for
cool.
us.
Maybe he can get that shot for us.
So,
meanwhile, just down in front of us here, the Coca-Cola Balloon still inflating. They'll be launching hopefully soon. That'll be Glow Kehoe. And Win Gustafson has the POW MIA balloon, lest we forget, also inflated on the far northeast corner of the field. And we have the Bees with us. I didn't see, like, we have Puddles and Splash and now Tall Steve.
Right.
So the mom and the dad and the baby. We also have a mom and a dad and a baby bee. We have, help me with the names. Lily, and Joey, and then Joelle is the baby. But I think we just have the baby this morning.
Actually, this one is.
There's
our shot inside.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's hard now that the sun's come up. It's hard for us to see the monitor.
But you can kind of see as he kind of turns around there, you kind of see that regular shape in there.
Looking up inside of center stage.
Some of those what look like black dots. Those are little holes to let the air go into those square portions of the stage
the
there as well.
Yeah, because that's how you blow. When you fill the balloon up, you blow the cold air or the ambient air into the main part of the envelope, and then you have those various openings so that the air flows out and inflates the appendages that creates the shape.
So great. It's nice to be able to kind of show that to folks.
Great
to be able
work
to
by
do
our
that.
production crew for the first time.
Our audio excellence is the guys here. Tony's on our remote camera out there. We've got Church and Randy doing double duty on these up here. Our director back
our
here,
director Phil is back there.
Our audio guy,
Dave.
Yep, this has been, I think we've been doing a great job here. Certainly appreciate them and all the work they've done.
Yeah, for the first time effort ever for Balloon Fiesta Live, this has been, it's been great fun, and I think a production everybody can be proud of. Certainly we've had some glitches along the way, but for a first year, never having done it before, it's... those guys have done yeoman's work. It's been great. And you're the executive producer of the show, by the way. You deserve huge credit for that. I know you did all the background work getting this all put together. Working on it, since June, I think, when we made the decision to go forward with this?
Since June we've been going. We've been talking about it for a while, but actually in June. So we had a shot of the bee there before. That was Lily. That was the female. And we were talking about how the winds have slowed down.
Yeah.
I don't know if Church can swing around and get this red one right over here.
Oh, he's just hanging there.
This guy has just stopped. He's not even moving away. Everybody's been moving to the in fact, he's actually starting to drift a little bit there. It's kind of right in line with that pole, so I don't know if we can get that shot.
Yeah, he's right in line with our mast with our new lightning detection system, by the way. I heard we were here when they tested that yesterday.
Yeah.
Here's hoping that thing doesn't go off while we're up here.
That sucker is loud.
Because it's ear-splittingly loud.
So, yep. So going over, let's see. Yeah, so there he is. They got the shot there. Basically kind of just stopped there for a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, the crowd of balloons is beginning to thin out a bit. We're just about come to the end of the launch this morning, but that always is a signal for us to remind you that most of the crowd will begin to start drifting over to Main Street, where we have a ton of vendors anxious to do business. We've got food and drink for sale over there, all sorts of merchandise. The official Fiesta merchandise tents, of course, located at both entrances to the field, the north and the south end. Where you can go in and pick up all of the official pins and the patches and the calendars and the programs. And
Balloon Fiesta has brought the sportswear into its own fold, so it's not a separate company there, and a lot of great different designs and colors and things like that. So there's a lot of great opportunities to do that. There are like 75 vendors down that road, Glenn. 30 some of them are food vendors, so you certainly aren't going to go hungry from that as well. So lots of things to do over there. Be sure to pick up programs and calendars. Do get that stuff early. It does tend to sell out. Some of those special pins do tend to sell out, so you're going to want to get a hold of those as well.
A lot of our sponsors have tinsel on there as well, including probably the folks from Visit Albuquerque, who would like to be sure to welcome you here to Albuquerque so that you can learn more about what the city has to offer. When you leave Balloon Fiesta Park, you can check out their website at visitabq.org. That's visitabq.org. You can also discover local favorites and community events inside their ABQ 365 blog, and the event calendar can be found at abq365.com. So our thanks to Visit Albuquerque for being one of our many fine sponsors this year.
You know what we haven't talked about yet this morning, is the chainsaw carvers are back.
Well, but that's starting a little bit later today, so I thought we'd sort of save that. But
you were going to save it, but they're the little white tents all the way out there at the other end. Actually, they are just getting underway, actually, with their competition actually on the weekends, and then demonstrations during the weekdays. So there's they put this big old log out there, and they take their chainsaws to it, and they come out with some very, very fine artwork out of that is available for purchase and for auction, depending on the different piece. So things to do, wander out that way. While you're out on that end of the field, there is also the Artisans tent. That's the big white tent that's at the far north end of the field. A juried art show with some very fine, I hate to call it arts and crafts because to me that seems kind of low end. This is high end stuff.
Yeah,
but but that's kind of what's out there in the big tent. And then, of course, the 7-Eleven Balloon Discovery Center is out there as well. A great place for you to do some hands-on learning, exploring, and just finding out more about balloons and ballooning and the whole aviation world as well. The 7-Eleven Balloon Discovery Center out there. Some new hands-on interactive exhibits in place out there as well.
Look at that crowd.
It is great. It is great. And, of course, later tonight, we've talked about the America's Challenge, inflation starting about 2 with launch scheduled for 6, and then followed by our Balloon Glow, which is a fabulous time to be here on the field, and our Afterglow fireworks. And then we do this all again tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. I'm not looking forward to an 03:30 wake-up again tomorrow, but
you know, I woke up before my 3:30 alarm clock
actually,
this morning.
I did too. I woke up first about 2:20 and thought, oh my gosh, if I overslept, and then I thought, oh no, I've still got about an hour and 10 minutes to go. And then I woke up again about 3:05 or something, and I finally decided to heck with it, get up. And it's a good thing I did because I got caught in a massive traffic jam coming down Alameda this morning.
First day traffic, always kind of
first day
that
traffic,
way.
yeah. And I was actually going the wrong way from I have a different parking pass this year, and so the police though were great because I got to a spot where they were turning traffic in a direction I didn't want to go, and so I was able to chat to the officer very quickly and tell him I'm semi-important here and I needed to get to the field. And he showed me how to reroute, and I had to reroute over to Paseo and down to 2nd Street and up and around. And
there you go.
Over the river and through the woods. But I got here on time. So thank you to the officer who was kind enough to let me turn across traffic.
So there's a great picture of Buddy Beaver that was just on our social media page here.
Oh, yeah. Somebody caught that.
Yep, there it is right there. So if you are posting your pictures to Instagram, be sure to use the hashtag Balloon Fiesta.
And so we're pulling that from Instagram and from Twitter. Is that right?
Exactly. So if you're posting tweets there or pictures to Instagram, we're looking for them. We're pulling them off. We're putting them up on our little wall here. We'll have those occasionally on our feed here. We'll put them on the field here. So if you want to post your stuff and then keep tabs again, hashtag Balloon Fiesta. We'll be looking for it, posting it here as well. So
I can tell this is the first year we're doing this because I just realized I've not picked up my phone once the entire time this morning. I haven't taken a single picture. I've posted nothing to Twitter, nothing on Facebook. And so
it's been a busy morning.
It's been a busy morning getting used to all of this TV stuff that's going on. So, but I mean, it's been fun.
Well, we had the opening ceremonies, the expanded opening ceremonies this morning as well.
That was awesome, and I didn't get a shot of that either. And I knew we were doing that. I knew behind the scenes that we were. Did you get a great shot of it, Kim? Yeah, I'm sure.
She did.
Everybody up here on the tower was all, and I thought, and by the time I thought, well, I should pick up my phone and take a picture, it was all over with, so I missed it entirely. But
I got a couple of pictures, not of that.
But we're doing that again, aren't we, or not? Was that the only day?
That's the only day we have that big a deal planned, but I was reading through the official schedule again last night.
Okay, bring everybody back. We got to start over.
We might have to try that again.
We need to do like that proposal. We need to recreate that then, because I didn't get the picture. That's really disappointing. I thought that was an every morning kind of thing. So, darn.
I figured even if it wasn't official, there'd be a number of pilots that would do it.
Well, maybe we can work that out. You've got some pull here. You can work on that.
Yeah, I pull the wagon. I pull the sled.
Yeah.
I pull the trash
feeling.
cans.
Yeah, right. Well, it was a good idea. I think it'd be fun to do that every morning, but
I think so too.
Oh well.
We'll have to talk to that man over there.
Well, because we do the anthem every morning, so why wouldn't we do that part every morning too? I mean, come on.
Well, it all timed out. A lot of times we time a national anthem to the balloon liftoff. Today we had to time it the other way because of the honor guard stuff, and it all worked out. Everybody made it all happen there. So there's
there's
one of her shots there.
Oh, that's cool.
Have you posted that to Instagram yet, Kim? Tweet
Yeah,
that sucker out,
yeah.
you know?
Post it with Balloon Fiesta, hashtag
Yeah,
Balloon
we'll get
Fiesta,
it
and
in
we'll
there.
get it on the feed.
So,
Yeah.
so
some of the shapes are inflating, as they usually do. A few of them will stay and inflate at the far end of the field and just stay static, inflated for a little while for you to see them. Center stage has come down, of course. We can see that. Beth Wright-Smith, who Larry had on the air a few moments ago, has taken that balloon down. Now that's when, as she said, that crew of 20 people really have to go to work to pack all that
minimum
up.
20. When she
Minimum
puts
of
out
20.
calls, she's looking usually for 30.
Yeah, I can believe it. I got to fly. We've talked about some of the shapes quickly. Years ago, I had a chance to fly out of California the polar bear balloon. If you remember that one.
Oh, yes.
The big
Yeah,
white,
nice.
the big beautiful
that was
white
a great
polar
balloon.
bear. And two things about flying that balloon that were quite interesting. One was that when you came in to land, and I remember the pilot telling me as I was flying it, now when you come down to make a landing approach, get a good visual image of what your field looks like, because typically it would turn slightly and all you could see in front of you was a great big white leg. You had no idea what you were flying toward. All you could see was the leg. And the other thing was that the basket, we'll go to Larry in just a moment, the basket was higher than the feet. So the feet actually touched the ground first, and as they skimmed across the grass, you heard this sound. Scared me to death because I thought I had a propane leak on the balloon before I realized what it was. But a wonderful balloon to fly, but it was like center stage. It took a dozen or more people to pack the thing up. A lot of work. Larry is live on the field. I don't know where, but Larry, take it away.
All right, Glenn, thank you. Appreciate it very much. You know, you come for the balloons, but you stay for the food. And there's nothing more Balloon Fiesta than a breakfast burrito. We're here at Perico's, and they're selling a few breakfast burritos today. I've got Valerie, who's one of the folks in charge here at Perico's. Hi, Valerie.
Hi.
How many burritos today?
We can't even count. They're really going fast.
The line is huge.
It is. This has to be one of our busiest years so far.
Wow. This is a staple. You got to have a breakfast burrito when you come to the Fiesta, don't you?
It's the ultimate. It's what we come here for.
So how many people are working here to crank out the burritos?
You know, we hired some extra crew this year anticipating the big crowd. And I'd say we have about 50 employees today.
I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you. Thank you for stopping by.
You bet. Valerie at Perico's here. You got to eat when you come to the Balloon Fiesta. Back to Glenn and Art.
So, Larry, are you bringing us back some burritos? I mean, that's the question of the day. He's down. He can't hear us probably, but, I mean, he's down there. You would think.
Well, he could.
He
heard
could.
us talk about all the great Gondola Club food here.
Yeah.
So there's another one of our new special shapes down there. The motorcycle going up there, down there next to Mr. Fish down there. And, of course, our POW MIA balloon out there as well.
That's Wynn Gustafson with that balloon. But, yeah, the new motorcycle, it's a motocross rider, it looks like, actually. And on what some people would call, if you're a Harley-Davidson or an Indian, aficionado, that's a rice rocket, it looks like, probably.
Super bike motor.
Super bike, okay.
Super bike,
cool.
Yeah, from the Netherlands, that balloon is.
Oh, outstanding. So Ina
we're glad to have them
Venderkrantz, if
here
you're
as
still
well.
watching our feed, there's a balloon from the Netherlands for you.
There you go.
Yeah, Ina's a friend of mine from the Netherlands and a ballooning aficionado there, and I know she was going to be watching our live feed.
So we talked about all the great things to do along Main Street out there, lots of great other things to do. There's actually some performers on Main Street as well, and that wonderful New Mexico Peace Choir that did the national anthem this morning,
yeah.
they're about to perform on the main
stage
here
outstanding.
as well. So I just heard from our entertainment folks that since we're kind of at the end of I believe we've probably launched every balloon we're going to launch. The rest of these will probably do static displays, which is a great time for you to go out there and get up close and personal, see the balloons, collect their balloon cards, those types of things. So I think here we want to make a few final remarks, and we'll let the Peace Choir get underway at 9 o'clock.
Okay, final remarks. Oh, you meant...
Yeah.
Well,
make a few, not say.
Oh, well, I'm just reading the script. What can I tell you?
Hey, you know what? Let me just throw one more thing in here.
Okay,
the
go ahead,
Zone. Kids Zone used to be at the north and the south end. All at
Yep.
the south end here. Lots of great jumpy things out there. Walk on water, Check out the New Mexico Speedway face painting, inflatable jumpers, all that great stuff. The folks at Kids Zones over there, go by and check out those folks. And, of course, our great friends at Canon here, the presenting sponsor here. They'll help you out with any kinds of photo tips, camera issues, and even they've got some great cameras and lenses set up over there that you can kind of check out and see what kind of things are going on there. So don't run away. Spend the day and enjoy your time here at the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
Absolutely. And coming up later today, as you've heard Art say, we have the inflation of the gas balloons, the launch of the America's Challenge gas balloon race, the balloon glow coming up tonight. Art and Larry will be here to take you through that. I'll be back early tomorrow morning as we do Dawn Patrol show again. And there's a whole other festival to enjoy. Now that the balloons are pretty much done with, you can just wander over and visit Main Street, and that's like a fiesta all in itself to see all the different things that are available there. So I guess on behalf of all of the crew that's been a part of this one, the debut of Balloon Fiesta Live, we hope you've enjoyed watching the live stream. We hope that you've been patient with some of the technical glitches, but it is our first time, and we're just learning to walk. As we go forward with this, we promise it will get better, but we thought it was kind of fun to do today. Thank you,
It was
Art.
exciting today.
Thank you for all of the work you did in making Balloon Fiesta Live come to life and be able to be brought to people live. That was pretty special.
Yep. Thanks to all of our crew and folks who've worked so hard to get this up and running as well. And again, we're planning on streaming all of the events. So 5:30 Mountain Time for all the morning events. We're still playing with the afternoon time. We'll probably come on early today if America's Challenge goes off, and then a little later on Balloon Glow Nights here. But keep checking it out, balloonfiesta.com, and we'll see you again later this afternoon.
Okay, so for Larry Aarons on the field, for my colleague Art Lloyd here with me, I'm Glenn Moyer. Thank you so much for joining us at the 46th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, presented by Canon and on Balloon Fiesta Live. And until we see you later this afternoon, have a wonderful day. And
wave goodbye.
Wave goodbye. Goodbye.
From the hot air balloon capital of the world, this is the 46th edition of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, presented by Canon. The world's premier ballooning event is happening now in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is Balloon Fiesta Live, online and on the air.